Howdy, howdy. We are live with Zach fumbling around in the background, making as much noise as humanly possible. Thought we'd do some Tuesday Brewsday. Was going to have a massive headache, so apologize in advance for the awful plays that we are going to make. Had a bit of a stressful week so far. One of my pups is in a bit of he's benched for a while. Scout tore his ACL, so we've had him to the vet over the past few days, and we're trying to figure out what the best course of action is to treat my pups. So we've separated the two dogs. I have Chloe down at my lap here, or down at my side here, who's bummed out because I don't think that since they've got Scout, that Chloe and Scout have been separated. So what they've been. You guys been pals for what, like 3 years now? So Chloe about a year before Scout, but ever since then they've been together. So anyway, they're a little bit bummed out. She kind of rode back on the car ride with her ears behind. It's about an hour drive to where I met my sister. She was about an hour and 45 minutes away, so we met at the halfway point. And yeah, I'm going to separate them because these two won't quit playing. And the ACL needs to be rested and probably gonna have to get surgery, which sucks because those are expensive, but it's life. Always something like that seems to happen. But anyway, that's where I've been dealing with for the past couple days, so that's why there haven't been any videos lately besides the Market Monday, which I kind of rushed through yesterday to get through. So anyway, we'll get to some streaming here. I thought I'd start out with some Azor's Gateway. It's a card I wanted to brew around, which also seems pretty decent in the meta. Seems like that Marty Vehicles is huge, and Black-Green Constrictor. So we're going to try to pick those decks apart with removal, and then have a late game package like the Torment of Hailfire. So anywho, that's what we're going to try to do. Of course, we are open to suggestions on where you would like the direction of this stream to go. I do want to refine it down to the top 10 list. I do have a Pauper brew I want to try around with. How come no one's played with Soul Summoning in Pauper? That just seems ridiculously overpowered. I'll pull up the two cards that got my kind of juices flowing. Soul Summons is with the card. It manifests the top card of your library, and you flicker it. It then becomes unmanifested as whatever it was. So I'm thinking about running like the Eldrazi, what is the Ulamog's Crusher, with Soul Summons. I'm not sure if there's just too much like bounce type cards in the format that will keep this from being a thing. But I think that this, turn 1, you can ponder, turn 2 you can soul summons and set it up. Turn 2 you can soul summons, and then turn 3 you can flicker. So that's the idea with the deck. But anyway, I don't know if we'll get into Pauper at the moment. Again, you can suggest in the chat which direction you wanted to go, but I really want to do Azor's Gateway. So let's go ahead and brew the good old Azor's Gateway and see what we can come up with. So basically, this card is going to be all the loot we need, I would say. Abrade is the second most played card right now in Standard because both the I believe Marty Vehicles is number 2 and number 1 is Grixis Energy. And they both use a lot of Abrades. And then you run into like dinosaurs that also use Abrades. And you still have a bunch of red, mono red package of the Hazoret type decks. So, oh yeah. Oubliette spiked up to what, $60 today? Is that what it is? Little pro tip: needle shot, I believe is what it's called. Needle shot or needle drop. Needle drop and chittering rats are both what I think are going to be next because their foils have been sold out. Usually the foils are like a week or two before the rest of the cards sell out. So Pauper's the real deal. They had 200 participants in one and just short of 200 participants in the other GP. And so there's a lot of movement in the Pauper market. But anyway, we won't talk too much about the market on this stream. We want to definitely focus on the brews. So Azor's Gateway, of course, the finishers are going to be cut to ribbons. So there is this, which is also a very good removal spell. It kills the majority. The only thing it doesn't kill right now is the Ripjaw Raptor, but it's going to at least tear up the rest of the cards. Still like a good little Glint Sleeve Siphoner on turn 2. Kill it. It's a card for a card. And the ribbons then you can get in for the Azor's Gateway. So the whole thing with Azor's Gateway is as X mana of any one color mana pool where X is your life total. And of course, if you can pump in a lot to cut ribbons, then it's going to be lethal. So I think that we do want a Primal Amulet or two. I don't know if I want to go all out because that's kind of like but we can loot them with the Azor's Gateway if we need to. So for right now, we're going to run the Primal Amulet. And of course, the Torment of Hailfire probably needs to be in here at some amount of copies. So we'll start with 4 and we'll narrow it down from there. So that's the kind of the nuts and bolts of the deck. Either we duplicate a Torment of Hailfire or a Cut Ribbons, or we Azor's Gateway it. So I think we need to get to the end game. So the best way to get to the end game with this deck, I think, would be either something like Sweltering Suns or Yahini's Expertise, or we go even bigger with Hour of Devastation. I like Hour of Devastation because it kills the Planeswalker angle. Yeah, there's a lot of Planeswalkers at the moment. Even the Liliana is starting to run around, and there's still a Nissa. I've seen some Merfolk decks put Nissa in the sideboard, the green-blue. And there are a few copies of what's the one that gives creatures indestructible? Heroic Intervention running around. And so the Hour of Devastation is a card that I think just does very well against those. So Hour of Devastation probably wants to be 1 main, 2 sideboard, I would say. And it gives us something we can throw away with the 5-drop as well. And then we have, I would run Sweltering Suns probably over Yahini's Expertise, or maybe we just want kind of our removal package to have different converted mana costs, as those are something we can get with the Azor's Gateway. So Yahini we'll put up in the sideboard just in case we want to change our mind. I think Chandra is a necessary evil for the deck. Let's see if I even have any. Okay, we have 2 Chandra. That's perfect. And then in the sideboard, we do have access to the Chandra's Defeat. I don't know if Glorybringer is that big of a deal to kill at the moment with this particular deck. We could even run cards like Gaunty to slow down our opponent. But I think that we want as many Abrades as possible. Like our go-to removal is going to be Abrade and Fatal Push, I would say. And I'm not quite certain we need Magma Spray quite yet. I'm going to put one in the sideboard. Because the most played card at GP Indy was the Scrap Peach Scrounger. So Magma Spray is definitely an option. Abrade and Fatal Push are the way to go. And then we probably want some amount of copies of the good old Vraska's Contempt. That's what it's called. So Vraska's Contempt. I wonder if the new Pirate works in this. Let's check out the Pirate Planeswalker to see. And this probably needs to be at least like 2 in the main, 2 in the side. I would also put the -2/-2 card in the side, so Craving, and maybe even an Essence Extraction. So that gives us the really good package against the more aggressive base decks. So let's take a look at some other sideboard base cards and see where we can draw some inspiration from. So let's see what Grixis is running as the removal package, because that's a pretty good idea, not modern, of what we need in here. So we have Hour Devastation, Vraska's Contempt. This is a lot more draw. Harness Lightning I don't think quite works in this. So Magma Spray, Abrade, Fatal Push. They got a split 3/2/2. Wonder if that's actually sufficient within 4. So the Braids could be here. So 3/2, and then what's the other removal we can run in this place somewhere? And then the sideboard is a lot more removal. We definitely want a Lost Legacy or 2 in the sideboard, and Duress, so I'm glad we looked at that. I think we need Duresses. I guess a Braid can probably go on the side. Maybe that's what we want to do, is a 3/2/2 split as well, because this is going to be a very similar type shell. You could even go into the Scarab God as the creature, or Torrential Gearhulk type stuff, but I think this slot is where our Azor's Gateway is going to be. Search for Azcanta, I really thought about running in this, but I don't think for this particular deck we want to go into blue, though. So we're going to draw some... see if we can find some other, like, so Marty Vehicles for their removal package runs Fatal Push and then Licensed Disintegration, so they run a total of 9. So we need to be somewhere in that vicinity. Then we have, Angrath. Angrath, each opponent discards a card. I think Angrath would actually be pretty good in the sideboard. There's going to be matchups where it's going to be very, very potent. So you can always put a card like Amid Eternal in the sideboard, as if your opponent isn't running any creature removal. It's something you can bring in that is just a beater. We could actually even think of a few other cards in this slot. I'm thinking Glorybringer might want to be there, or maybe we just will go creatureless and not really even worry about having those type of creatures to force the pressure on opponent. Makes a lot of their cards just dead cards. The Braids do kill our artifacts though, so just keep that in mind. Mono red runs what? So they have 4, 2, 4, so they run a total of 10 of spot removal. So I think that we're okay in something like that. Advances blasting cannons. That actually does look interesting. I wonder if Chandra's just better though. All right. Okay, so I think we got it kind of figured out here. So maybe we'll do the 3 and then the 2 split with magma spray. I think that, and that will allow us to put like an Essence extraction in the main, and maybe even 1 in the side. So 3, 2, a braid can go to 2 and then 2 in the side, and then we can put even like a moment of craving could easily go in the main, or this might just be what we need to focus on for removal, and then start packing full of other cards that try to at least pressure our opponent. So, all right, let me pull chat back up. Keep minimizing it every time I mess with the web. Hey, Adam, appreciate the the donation. Ad nauseum though. Ooh, yeah, pretty sure I don't want to play ad. my least favorite deck of all time. I can't stand that. Can't stand decks that just kind of play Magic the way Magic is not intended to play. So Tournament of Hailfire seems like way too many. You're probably right. That's if you didn't catch the very first of the stream. I always start with like 4 copies and then we move down. I think that you're most likely correct. I bet 2 is the right number. And then Cut Ribbons. Oh yeah, Cut Ribbons is definitely our other removal spell that then we get later on. So looking for suggestions in this slot of what we need. If we want more removal like the Moment of Craving or the Yahini's Expertise. I don't know if we want Yahini's Expertise. We're running Sweltering Sun, Hour Devastation. I think that having this amount of... I think that we probably do need Advances Blasting Cannon. That actually seemed like a pretty good slot here as a one of. I'm not sure it wants to be in the main or if it wants to be in the side. Duress we need to have in the... yeah, there's probably a good 3-drop. So we also want a good spread with converted mana cost. So the 2s are going to have a ton of different ones, like the Azor's Gateway is a 2-drop. Whoops, did I just add an extra Vraska's Contempt? The Torment of Hailfire also a 2-drop. The Fatal Push and the Magma Spray can be our 1s. Our 0s are the lands. So I wonder if we need another Magma Spray or Fatal Push in the main. Like maybe a 4-2 split. We could go... Sweltering, Essence Scatter, that's 3. Let's see. Yeah, I agree. More 3-drops. We could put another Essence Scatter there. We could put... Let's just look at... We could put a treasure map somewhere in here for more draw. Oh, I know one. It's going to be the Doomfall. I think Doomfall is excellent for this slot. So, then we have the Duress. I wonder if do we care about the thing that gets rid of graveyards going against the God Pharaoh's Gift deck? What's a good... The graveyard, it's a 1-drop. Do they still run that? We could run Scavenging Ruins still. Other than we don't want to mess with our own graveyard because it is relevant, but maybe it's not too relevant. So I'm going to try an Angrath, maybe in the main. I just want to see exactly what this card... Let's read it and see exactly how potent I think it is. So we have... Each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. Gain control of target creature until in a turn. Untap it against haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of next end step if its converted mana costs 3 or less. And each opponent loses life equal number of cards in his or her graveyard. That's another alternate win con. I'm not sure if it's powerful enough in the main. So we have Crook of Condemnation, but is that just better than the new one that they brought out, the totem? Yeah, the totem. I think that Crook probably is. It is a 2-drop compared to the 1-drop that... Or we can just rely on Scavenging Grounds. I don't know if we could actually run the other desert in Scavenging Grounds. Grounds. So like 2 Scavenging Grounds, and then it's our land slot, and then we can run the... What's the... Ifnir? Deadlands in here as another possible one. And that gives us some access to then have some deserts that are relevant. Oops, Tezimok. And I'm sure there's people that have already brewed this. Tetsimok, okay. Tetsimok Primal Death. Ooh, interesting, interesting. As a one-of? I'll do it. I'll do it. Have people actually played around this card? Is it actually relevant? Well, yeah, Abrade is definitely an issue, but you can still hard cast. Yeah, we probably do. There's still Chandra, and that's probably why Angrath probably needs to be in the main. Because then we have Chandra, we have, as an alternate win condition, we have Angrath. Is there a good black finisher that will just win the game by itself that's easy to kind of protect? Vance's Blasting Cannon also can flip over if we were to run it in the main, but I don't know if there's room for it. Huh. So, what's another renewable resource that we can just get, we can push out? Because Torment of Hailfire, when we rip the hand apart with, like, the Doomfalls, I like the Doomfall Duress. Oh, we definitely need a Lost Legacy. And I typically still like running at least a one of Dispossess, because Dispossess still gets rid of, like, Torrential Gearhulks. So I'm wondering if our 4-drop we need something like Yahini's Expertise. Yahini's Expertise, though, doesn't have a lot of synergy with, like, our 3. We can then, like, throw out a Gateway. But 4-drop wise, we could put the Vance's Blasting Cannon in the main. That leaves us to 26 lands, which is probably want to be at 25 or 26, I would assume. We definitely will have the other cycling. We want the cycling lands for sure in here. And possibly even want like a cycling desert or two. So we want more black then, because that allows us the Ifnir Deadlands. I don't have any Canyon Slows. Oh yeah, I think it's when I rage quit. MTGO, I sold everything. And now we're buying it all back. So something like this could work with the Desert of the Glorified. How's it going, Wall of Ice Cream? So yeah, our win cons will definitely be cut ribbons off of a Primal Amulet or off of a Nazar's Gateway. So yeah, it does have this sort of one-trick pony type effect to it. So 16 lands would put us at 26. Do we want a lot of these like deserts that come into play tapped? How much is that going to hurt us? I mean, it gives us this renewable resource with the Ifnir Deadlands, but I mean, what is the Ifnir Deadlands actually killing at that point? I mean, we could do a desert of each. But I do like the one of Tetsimok is actually not too bad. We could put Natali in for funsies too, because if our opponent doesn't have any way to deal with it, like they take out the removal, then Natali could theoretically win off the card draw that it gets. But it's a 6-drop that then needs to attack in, and I wonder if there's just a better card at this point that just finishes off the game. Like Glorybringer, I think at that point is even better. Yeah, we are really vulnerable to Abrade. Gifted Aetherborn. Yeah, we could put that in the sideboard. We could actually put it in the main just to have some. And that gives us some 2. Because that would put us up to, now we'd be up to 14 lands. If we had a full package of these, we could still cut down. We could cut down the Primal Amulets. I'm not sure we want that many Primal Amulets. Like, a lot of times these are terrible in multiples. As it's, if you cast them late, they're just a dead card. How does this look? Any other? I guess I should pull up the sideboard so you can see the sideboard. We have Dispossessed, Duress, Abrade. I wonder if Vance's Blasting Cannon needs to come over on the side and put like another Abrade in the main. That way, Fatal Push, Abrade, Magnus Spray, Essence, Sweltering Suns, Doomfalls, Rascalous Attempts. We're taking control. I think that Vance's Blasting Cannon needs to be in the main. And unfortunately, it's gonna be tough to cast 3 spells in a turn. I guess not if a Gateway gets. And does this count as casting? Does it say cast from your hand? No. Okay, so like Cut Ribbons is actually pretty good with casting twice in a turn if we need to flip the Vance's Blasting Cannon. It's just there for what if scenario. So I don't know. Yini's expertise actually feels a little bit out of... is there another card like Duress at the moment that is worthwhile putting in here? Oh, Arch of Araska definitely does want to be in here. Just as a one-of, because it's a legendary land? It's just a land? Seriously. I don't know how many arches we'd want. Or how many deserts at that point, if we want Deserts of the Glorified in here. We do need to go... The canyon, what's the other mountain swamp is called? Dragon Skull Summit? So we want a full play set of these. And then some mountains. And some swamps. And wait, did we put in... Where do we get to 24 lands with? I put in too many cards of something. Possibly don't need as many cut ribbons either. But in all honesty, though, I don't know if 24 is going to be too little of lands for a deck like this. You want to hit land drops, but at the same time, we don't really have anything with very high converted mana cost, except for this Tetzimok. And we also have ways to loot for lands we need, which is, yeah, something to think about. Sideboard. I could throw another card over to the sideboard and add another land, put us at 25. Yeah, we need to be heavy on the swamps. I agree. But we do have the Ifnir Deadlands and the Desert of the Glorified. So I think a 5-4 split is fine. With the we do want the options of having the Magma Sprays and Abrades. And we, again, the Gifted Aetherborns coming to play untapped is going to be relevant, but I mean we do have a ton of scenarios for that to happening. I mean the 4 Canyon Slows and Dragonscore Summits are pretty good for the Gifted Aetherborn. Spire of Industry is a little bit weird because I don't know if we're going to have any. I mean we have 6 artifacts in the deck. So do I add another Duress in the main? I mean for card draw we still have a Chandra. We still have Chandra, and I mean, how good is this Tetzimok gonna be? Though is the question. Is it worthwhile to throw it in? Eh, we'll try it out. We'll try it out to see if we like it. So Sweltering Sun's in the board. What's Moment of Craving is -2/-2, and you gain 2 life. I think it's necessary, I would say, to combat those really hyper-aggressive decks. So I even think the 3 Fatal Push and 2 Magma Sprays and 2 Abrades might not be enough for this particular format. The Gifted Aetherborn is kind of the odd man out here. I'm wondering if it's better served as another card that can just, like a Gaunty type card. Gaunty would give us another 4-drop that we can loot. Because you got to think you want enough spread on each of the 3. So 3, we have the Primal Amulet, I guess, at 4 that can be looted. Maybe I do need to go down in the Gifted Aetherborns. Or Noxious Gearhulk? Yeah, well, Noxious Gearhulk could easily be in replace of Tetzimok. 6/6, you can kill multiple things with this, though. But I'm with you. I think a Noxious Gearhulk is probably the right card we want at 6. We do want a few things because we'd have to have a lot at 5 too, because we actually have a ton at 4 with cut ribbons. So our 4-drop is fine. Our 3-drop is okay, but it's still kind of tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I think we need our 3-drop at least 5. I probably need to throw in another 3-drop, to be honest. And so that's why I like the Sweltering Suns, because they can also be cycled. So we might need another Essence Extraction or a Doomfall, or what's another good 3-drop that we can throw? Possibly this is where we want the 3-drop, is instead of just having like 2 Gifted Aetherborn. So let's just look at Creature in the colors at 3. and see if that's where we want to be, because that's the most likely one we want to exile. Too bad the Eternal, or what was the Eldrazi at 3, you could play for exile, isn't it, in this format? So I guess in this format we could have the Fox, what is it called, the Filgary Familiar in this slot. The -2/-2 Ascend card, isn't that 4 mana? I thought that one was 4 mana, not 3 mana. So let's look at our colors: black, red, and colorless. Oh, Golden Demise, it is. It actually is. It is 3. Ascend, -2/-2, only your creatures. I think Sweltering Sun's just better in this case. So, yeah, so let's vote on the Noxious Gearhulk. You want the Noxious Gearhulk here, or you want the new Dinosaur? The new Dinosaur can do this gains you gains you a lot of life. The other one does not gain life, but puts back a 6/6 Death Toucher. Poe 1980, we are trying to brew around Azor's Gateway. That's the goal. And I really do think it is 3. We want something in the 3-drop that... I wonder if it's something like the new Vanquish the Weak, the Exile creature with power 3. Is that just better there? What is that one even called? Ruin Raider is actually very interesting here. It can hit some high converted mana cost stuff, but it is, if our opponent isn't running a lot of removal, is a way that we can just get a lot of renewable. So Reaver Ambush. 3 mana to exile a... Well, I don't think we want Unlicensed Disintegration, do we? We could put Unlicensed Disintegration here, or is just the Reaver Ambush better? I guess Unlicensed does hit more thing. So that actually is pretty good. Gifted Aetherborn. I think that our 2-drop is just too loaded at the moment. We have lots of things that we can get there. Our 1-drop at 5, it has to be an even spread to make this deck work. And maybe that's where Noxious Gearhulk needs to come out, because we need to find another 5-drop here. Because where 5 is very, very low. Because we can go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we don't have one of those, we need it to be in 5. And our 4 and our 3 look pretty... Or no, our 4 is good with Cut Ribbons. Definitely is good. Advances... So it's our 5... Maybe another Hour of Devastation in the main. That's probably the right route to go. And that's a great card to loot away. And then we have... The 3 is the Hull. So I think Unlicensed probably is the right... Unlicensed Disintegration. Because it is just still a Destroy. We get the 3 damage if we happen to have an artifact. Which... And it's just a hard removal spell. I mean, we have, what, Murder in this slot? And if we wanted more of a sweeper type fill, we could use the -2/-2. But I think this Sweltering Suns in most cases is going to be better. So it's between that Exile spell and... What is Never to Return? Because this adds... This one could be a 4, 5, 6, 7... Never to Return could be a 7. And is still a Destroy a Creature or a Planeswalker. Starve Extinction could be a 7, but we'd have to go up to 25 lands at that point. Liliana works with creatures, unfortunately. I mean, you can dish off a lot of 2/2s, but I don't think it's worth it for Liliana. And we have Angrath. I think just an extra copy of Angrath might be a little bit better. Hour of Devastation kills the Adontal Vanguard. We could throw one. We could throw Golden Demise. I'm okay with putting one in the sideboard for sure. Because we do have 2 slots left. Well, the whole point, if we want 2 more creatures, maybe run a 1... Alright, since everyone wants to run this card, we'll run it as a 6-drop. But I think we need to throw another land in here at that point. Do we want another Arch of Vraska, or just want something like Desert of the Glorified? We have a lot of tap lands if we run another Desert, though. I could just run a basic swamp. We could actually take out an Ifnir Deadlands. But I want, yeah, I think another desert's fine. Or we could, yeah, a desert of the glorified. And we could throw, I'm okay with running the Aetherborns in the sideboard. Archfiend of Ifnir is what, the cycle card? Yeah, Scorpion God, that would have to go into blue, and I'm trying to avoid that. We also do have a 6-drop as the Demon of the Dark Schemes, which does seem like a pretty decent card. Because you can use your opponent's cards against... This is like the weaker Scarab God. The problem is it tries to go in energy-based decks. When you cycle or discard another card, put a -1/-1 counter on each of your opponent's... unfortunately, it doesn't work with Azor's Gateway. And the only thing we cycle is our... This is definitely an interesting card, though, in go-wide strategies. And to be honest, I'd rather have it than Tezamok. Everyone wants to run the Tezamok. I personally don't think Tezamok is... This one doesn't survive a random Glorybringer, though. But this one can be cycled away. Scorpion God is a... Oh, Scorpion God's actually super good. This one's very interesting because it's a 6/5. Yeah, I actually think Scorpion God is better than Tezamok in this particular. The thing is, though, we need to find the converted mana cost matters so much here. And this being a 6 is more of a liability. We can go a little lower on the creature count if we don't have a 6-drop, I would say. Oh, jeez. Everyone's just so adamant about this Tezamok. I actually think Scorpion God's better here. This is something they have to kill multiple times. It can be the win con, whereas Tezamok maybe will kill a creature and then can easily get taken care of. How about this? We'll compromise. We'll put it in the sideboard. And I'll play Scorpion God in the main. And that way we might be able to go back down to 24 lands. I still think we want another 1-drop, though. Like another Fatal Push or another Magma Spray. Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about the Demon of the Dark Schemes, too. Is a great go-wide card. This is a pretty good mana dump, too. So say the Azor's Gateway does flip, Scorpion God can get out of hand just with Azor's Gateway. And I think that's the focal point, is we want this card to shine. And this does give us another 5, so we'll have 2 Avarice Devastations. We have Angrath. That's still not a lot of 5-drops, but it'll definitely be relevant in... Yeah, I actually think that man, 1 and 2 needs to be... I think we're going to run 1 Unlicensed Disintegration. I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to try to balance these as much as possible. So our 4-drops, I could actually cut ribbons because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So cut ribbons can be cut here. cut. And we probably want a braid and another Fatal Push, I would assume. Fatal Push or a Magma Spray. I think it's still Fatal Push. And the thing is, the Fatal Push come out pretty good for... Oh, that leaves us a sideboard slot for sure. So we still have some sideboard. So cut ribbons is the 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But you got to think that some of these are going to be very relevant. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 6 here. So 6, 6, 9. I think that's a lot better balance. Field of Ruin or some sort of land destruction for... What is the land that's giving everyone problems at the moment? All right. Well, let's play some games and see where we're at with the deck. See what's beating us, and then that's how you brew a deck. So the things that end up... Oh yeah, Field of Ruin. That does make a... Field of Ruin does make up a good... thing is, though, we're already heavy on a lot of these non-basics. If we want these lands to come in to have any chance of coming to play untapped, like the Dragon Skull Summit, that gets pretty messy at that point. All right, so I'm going to put another spray in the sideboard, possibly. Or do we want the two? We want the 2 Aetherborns in the sideboard. The 2/2 gifted Aetherborns. Or are they just going to be? I think with Moment of Craving and Vraska's Contempt, I don't know if they're worthwhile. I know that they can, if opponents bring out their removal, then this just kind of runs crazy on them. But we might be okay. Do we need a Argos Bloodfast in the sideboard? I kind of like this. A Bloodfast. As another way to draw cards. Against the non-creature decks. So, got to think of the scenarios. We'll bring in Lost Legacy, Duress versus Control. We don't have a lot of other... So, I think that this dedicated slot needs to be for cards that we're going to take out Fatal Push, Magma Spray, Braids. Yeah, we absolutely have to put more creature removal in the side, I would say. Or not creature removal. More stuff we're siding out creature removal for. Lost Legacy, Dispossess, Duress, Argos Bloodfast. Ballista, you know what? Ballista actually is a neat little card. It can be, the 0 is pretty easy to have though. I think I'm gonna to avoid the Ballista because I think it's going to be too difficult to make it worthwhile. I'd rather just have a spell that can just for certain win the game rather than a Ballista that might. So I don't think Ballista is the right route to go. Duress, Argos, Vraska's, Lost Legacy, Gold Demise, a Braid, Hour of Devastation. I think it needs to be like another Duress type card, like a Doomfall. In all honesty, we could throw out a Doomfall. We could put the... No, because against the heavy creature or creatureless decks, we don't have a lot of things that can come in. And so I'd need to throw in like another Angrath, possibly. Battle on the Bridge is definitely interesting for one. For a 1-drop. Battle at the Bridge. Improvise, target creature gets negative X new, gain 3 life. So it's that's decent with both the Azor's Gateway and the Primal Amulet, for sure. Hey, we could put a Reclaiming Phoenix in here as our card they have to deal with. That's actually not a bad idea. But I don't know. I think we're gonna have to rely. Our non-creature based decks are gonna be tough. Because I think they just have more going for them than we do. I mean, I can draw out of this with Arch of Vraska. That's where we'd want some more threat type cards in the sideboard that are difficult to deal with. Walk the Plank is okay. I think we can rely on a Braid, get it to our bigger stuff. I know we're kind of... Doomfall is actually pretty good against that too. For making him sack a particular. Same thing for Vraska's Contempt. The Phoenix, I don't want to spend 18 tickets on a Phoenix at the moment, but yeah, definitely the Phoenix does seem like a pretty good option as another card that can just be a finisher. Yeah, Phoenix in the sideboard would be definitely the right route to go. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just bite the bullet. Oh, they're so expensive right now. We can probably cut in a Braid. Just go 3 of Braids. And do we need another Hour Devastation versus those decks? We have a lot of... So Phoenix, Argos Bloodfast, probably still a good thing. Other than we do have other ways to draw cards. So it might just be... The thing is, I just want to flip a Argos Bloodfast and then have it be used with good old Angrath. Seems like a fun little card. Grab their creature, then sack it. Gonti is definitely an option, but Gonti has a tough time finishing off the game, though, just as a 2/3 Death Toucher. It can use their cards against them. It definitely is the budget card we can bring in. I'm okay with just throwing in Gonti in the sideboard, but I think going like a 2 of Phoenix is probably okay. The thing is, I think our opponents will keep in Vraska's Contempts and Control against us if they see a Chandra and an Angrath. Well, Alexander, it's placed, but so who cares? It's overinflated at the moment. Everything with Rivals is going to go down. Just look at like a card like Heart of Cran that has seen way more play than the Phoenix is ever going to see. And it, went down to 5 tickets. That's exactly what you're going to see with it. So I just don't like playing these overpriced cards for Rivals of Ixalan. So I think we can add either 2 Gaunties or 2 Phoenixes here and then be fine. Moment of Craving might not be a card we need to bring in all honesty. This card just seems really good. We're still good on 2-drops, though. I think we'll take out this, and we can add some Phoenixes. I'll add 2 Phoenixes. Oh, man. You guys are going to eat me out of house and home. Let's see here. We'll go 2 Rekindling Phoenixes in the sideboard, and then 2 Gaunties. And this gives us a good package to sideboard out of the removal. And again, Glorybringer is still a pretty decent card we can throw in here too. So we need... How do I look for... Search tools. What was this card? It was called Azors, right? A little bit of a plug for a bot service. The reason why I use MTGO traders, they've been good to me in the past. Plus, we are... I'm trying to unveil a scandal right now in MTG Finance, MTGO Finance. And I think we've made some ground, and it's because the owner of MTGO Traders has let me pick their brain and find some abnormalities in trades that occurred. Don't want to spoil too much of it because I'm doing a video on it, of a particular card that got banned. Well, there you go, Rampaging Frostodon on the 14th. A day before it got banned, there is some troubling statistics that happen with a card that halved in value when no one thought it was going to be banned. So we're thinking there's some insider trading going on with good old Wizards of the Coast. Alright, what else do we need here? Was that everything that we were missing? We got the Angrath, we got the Scorpion God, we got Tezemak, we got the Torment of Hailfire. 44 tickets, Golden Mice. There's another one. Essence Extraction, Doomfall, Fatal Pushes, Duresses. And I don't know why it does this little swamp nonsense. And I believe, we have an Arch of Araska. Oh, we need these. Ugh. Okay, so we need the deserts. And I think we have everything else. 52 tickets. Man, you guys are expensive. Expensive. Alright. We need that Spellcore spec to pay off. Well, here's the thing with what I've been able to unveil with the Rampaging Frostodon. I don't think we're going to get anywhere because there's an easy defense, even if we do catch people. So basically, there's three users on MTGO that unloaded 150 cards to the various bot chains. So we're talking about Card Hoarder, MTGO Traders, and a few other bots have confirmed with me that there was a mass exodus in Rampaging Frostodons on the 14th. The thing is, if you catch people on that, they can just say, lucky guess. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, you can expose it. To me, and I've talked to some other finance people, it's way too coincidental. That there was no articles, no one was talking about a possible ban with... what the hell do I got going on in Friendly Standard? I wanted to play some... Oh, yeah, we didn't finish off Speedy Gonzalez from last week. Whoops. Maybe we'll play some of a little of that later. I don't want to do a competitive, but I don't want to do two-man queues because they're so expensive as well. Untested deck. We're doing two-man queues. Yeah, so Alexander, that's exactly it. So I had a huge conversation with other financier like myself, and it's I like MTO Finance because it's kind of fun. It's almost like gambling to me. If I can pick one, I don't want insider information, even if someone were to give it to me, because that just takes away the whole fun of it. And MTO Finance isn't that lucrative. Diminishing returns will get you before you can make any serious amount of cash. What diminishing return is, the more you sell to a bot, the less they pay for a specific card. And the more you buy from a certain bot, the more they charge you. So you get kind of taxed on the buying and selling. So it's nothing serious, but still, people that get fed this information is ridiculous. I think we can keep this. We are very reliant on this Azor's Gateway sticking, because we do need to draw into more lands. But this has our win con. It's got a removal spell. It's got a card that pressures. It's got a sweeper. So it's everything we want it to be. And hopefully this person isn't watching chat and is sniping me, because this is what happens to streamers. So, but I don't know. The whole thing is, like, I think that I'm pretty much convinced there was some... it's nothing new, insider trading at WotC. They've done it before. They leaked the run numbers to Star City Games. Star City Games is able to make a business decision on Tarmogoyfs, which I thought was... And again, I don't know the details with that particular one, because it could have been public information at that point. I haven't researched it too much into it. But I definitely think the Star City Games had the known numbers of how many Tarmogoyfs were in circulation. Because at that point, no one knew if there was going to be a second run of Modern Masters 1. And there's been some very funky things happen in the finance, paper finance. But MTGO, this is the first one I think I've really uncovered with someone that just had a mass exodus of a card before anyone knew that it was going to be banned. So Magma Spray is a pretty good card to draw, because if we get some information on what we're playing against next turn. So Archfiend of Ifnir. Hey, people were just talking about that card. So if my opponent is running a lot of removal, they're going to have a tough time. Again, if it's one of you sniping me in chat that queued up right when I queued up. So I think Magma Spray is the easier one to get rid of here. Yeah, we'll get rid of the Magma Spray. Unfortunately, we didn't hit a land, so that's going to be... I could have just cycled the Sweltering Suns, but, I mean, that was basically a cycle with the Azor Gateway. So, we are kind of on the ropes here. 3-colored cycling, Jund cycling. And that's fine, we can just... So this is just a Hapatra Brew, and I'm just going to Fatal Push. Okay. Alright, so let's hit a land. We're a 25 land deck, we've drawn a card, so there it is, so... Hit the land. We do need to start cycling away lands here. So we can hit an Abrade. I don't know if we need to do anything at the moment. We'll just wait till end of turn. Whether or not we want to cycle the Sweltering Sun. Or we want to... I think I prefer cycling the Sweltering Suns, because if we hit a land... yeah, because I can't even cast it. So Azor's Gateway Sweltering Sun is probably better, because we don't have a 3. So we have 1, 3. Yeah. But I do need a 2. Let's do a Braid. That's fine. I probably still want to play the Desert. So I want to hit that. So let's get rid of a Braid. And I think I'm just going to cycle. Oh, that's 3 cycle. Do you want to cycle the Desert? No, we want the Desert. Now I hit a Desert. So I'll just play this one into play tap, because we have nothing else to do this turn. And now we can end a turn, get rid of the Sweltering Suns underneath Azor's Gateway, I would assume is the right play. Now, possibly should have just cut the Hapatra. Claim. Well, now it gives us a cut target, which I'm glad we have. Yeah, I don't care about the claim to fame. That's just 4 damage. And gives us, once again, it gives us that target. So we're in great shape. And we might be able to find something for it. Let's just Azor Gateway at the moment. Hey, Tyler's here. Tyler Brewmaster, you can grab a chair if you want, dude. Oh, so now we get another 2-drop. I don't think having double Azor's Gateway is relevant. But I kind of want to get another card underneath this. So 1, 2, 3. I think that just still, I think this Sweltering Suns is the right call. Or we could get our 0 with the Swamp. So at this point, I think, but I want to hit Angrath, because we can actually Angrath to kill it. And I think we'll just put the Sweltering Sun underneath, because there's 3. And so I got to think of that in future, for future Azor's Gateway, because you definitely want an Azor Gateway. So here's the deal. I'm not quite certain that we want to do cut on... And did not decide to put a -1 counter on. Is that opponent controls, though? On target creature, so my opponent didn't want a death touch. And we found, there's our 0 too now. So I could actually go this one into play tapped, because it's our second red source. And yeah, I think we're going to do that. And then we can throw away this swamp, and then have the mana. So we'll just cut the... Yeah, this is going to work out really well for us, because it's going to flip the following turn, and then it flips untapped. So we have a win next turn. I know we're kind of low on health. 16 is low on health, sort of ish. But we're in great shape here. Anthony, this is Rakdos Azor's Gateway. We had a lot of deliberation about what we should put in this deck, and I'm liking the list so far, but we're not going up against the strongest opponent, I would say. Well, how does Apatra actually work in this meta? It might actually be pretty good. There's a lot of creature-based decks. I know this deck was good against creature-based decks. Alright, so we have an Obelisk Spider. So, yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot versus our deck. Our opponent is definitely geared up towards creatures. What's that?
Is this a friendly league?
No, this is a 2-man queue.
Oh. This seems like it's dead.
Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not the strongest. I've seen these Jund decks before. They do very well against Marty Vehicles and Green-Black Constrictor, to believe it or not. And Green-Black Constrictor and Marty Vehicles are 1 and 2, I believe, right now. Or Grixis Energy is still number 1. So, okay, so we're going to get rid of the Swamp, I would assume. Yeah, since we have another one. So now we have 0, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not quite certain we need to take care of the spider. So do I just have lethal here? I think I might just have, let's see, let's just get rid of the Vraska's Contempt, because we have the Angrath that can deal with it. My opponent would have to braid right now, though.
They might have it.
Yeah, they have their braid. Womp womp. So now I can Fatal Push on the spider, but we can also... We still get a draw, though. And Doomfall is pretty good. Do we play a land this turn? I always forget. Turn 7. So, turn 6, turn 7, I have not played a land. Okay, so we want the second Azor's Gateway, probably. We can probably get rid of Fatal Push here. I don't know if you want... Yeah, the second Azor's Gateway is just good to loot. So this is going to be decent. And that kills it. So a braid. That is the problem. A braid is just everywhere. And damage to a creature. I'm like, why didn't I get a counter there? But it's a patcher that does it, so it's the opposite. So then that gets sacrificed. And now we have a threat on board, which is actually a pretty decent threat, because our opponent can't hold stuff in their hand now. So I wonder if this turn I just want to use the cut ribbons before the scavenger ground happens. We'll see. Unless Disintegration is great to run. But this is... Angrath's definitely going to take over this game. Scavenger ground, another one is thrown. We could actually do... And I don't think it's worthwhile. Let's throw out another Azor Gateway. We could throw the other card. We could Doomfall, get the last card, but I don't think that there's anything relevant in my opponent's hand. So we'll Gateway right now. And I believe I can actually use it here, too. And Essence Extraction is the weakest? Man, yeah, Essence Extraction. There's a 3. And I wonder if my opponent just will kill the Scavenger Grounds in a turn here. I think that's the right play. And I gotta play quicker. I think my opponent's probably going to be upset that they've used 3 minutes and I've used 8 minutes about. But that's commentating for you. Again, last couple days have not been the best day for me as far as relaxing or getting in the mind frame for this kind of stuff. So I don't know. It's something I'd rather have a torn ACL myself. I think that'd be... I knew I should have ripped out the last hand. What's an appetite? This is going to be rough. I mean, the thing is, these gateways have done their duty, though. They've looted stuff that I didn't want to begin with.
Is this game 1?
This is game 1, yeah.
They have that main board?
Yeah, they have Appetite main board, yeah. And he's going to cycle the Archfiend. That is very interesting. Especially now my opponent doesn't know what's in hand. I get to rip it out with Angrath. So, Summit, do we keep it in for another gateway? Possibly. I think I actually just throw it and cast this. Cut ribbons. I don't think we're going to have a better use of it. And then... Yeah, that's fine with me. So now we definitely have our opponent on the ropes. We have triple removal spell in hand. And it doesn't even... Like, right there, I can actually just kill it with... And get a token. I'll be able to get a token as well. Or I could cut ribbons, get another one. But I think... Wait, no. This is -3. So I don't want to do that quite yet. So I think we'll just cut again. Yeah, that's fine. And then... Just tick up. And then if our opponent plays another one, we can just grab it. So... And here, if my opponent wants to get rid of my graveyard this time with the Scavenger Ground, I'm okay with it. Or do I want to use... I think I'll just use it right now as well. Because if not, I think that my opponent does do Scavenger Ground. They should at that point. And especially when there's another one. But all right, Angrath, you are going to win the game just by your ticking up 2. It's a Chandra tick up. Fatal Push. And now even a Torment of Hailfires is lethal. If we top deck into it. So Appetite and a Braid. Is this like we take out Azor's Gateway? And just go with like heavy removal? Or
It is loot, but...
Yeah, Azor's Gateway is still loot. I still think it's worthwhile. Make him keep it in. I'm definitely taking out the Primal Amulets.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got plenty of these, so I'll burn that rather than negative on Angrath. Angrath is going to kill my opponent quicker than... And there's Torment of Hailfire anyway. I don't know if I give my... Yeah, we'll just run it just to save some time. And that's tons of damage. Angrath actually works in that aspect, too. I wonder if we misevaluated this card, and this should be more... And this should be our win con, not trying to find other creatures to do so. So, my opponent saw 0 creatures. We could definitely run in Rekindling Phoenix. However, there are a few things my opponent just naturally does in their deck, which I don't think they can side out, that is going to do anything versus... I mean, it's going to kill the Rekindling Phoenix. What's up? So here's a deck list, Tyler. Tyler just joined us. Everyone with the the Brewmaster has arrived until someone takes his title and we do another. Casey, who is Fatal on, you see the wrench on the chat, is hopefully going to be running that tournament as we progress and get the website up and running. So I'll be looking forward to Roguemaster Brewer. I hate saying soon, especially all the junk that's going on right now. So I think all of our removal is good. I don't think we need to bring in Duress. Our opponent's going to try to basically adjust to what we're doing. So I think I can cut some removal. There was like Soulscar Mages. I don't think I need to go like Lost Legacy. Gonti does seem a little bit interesting, especially if my opponent takes out a bunch of removal, but we didn't see any removal. I saw only a Braid. So Primal Amulet and just 2 Primal Amulets comes out. Vance's Blasting Cannon could come out. Alexander and the Tetzimok. Tetzimok could come in, definitely. We'll bring it in just for you. Just for you. And same thing, the Gonti could come in. I don't think we need like Golden Demise. It misses a few things. We could keep in 1 hour of Devastation. There's just not a lot of stuff we even care about bringing in. Just like, yeah, because we're not taking anything out, because everything is still very good. Vraska's Contempts are still really good. It's not like the quickest deck ever, so I think we can just bring in some Vraska's Contempts, or we can bring in Gontis. But Gonti just kind of gives the Hippotra and the Obelisk Spider something to do, whereas I don't really want them to have anything to do until we're to that point. So I don't think we need to really care to bring too much in. Our Devastation kills everything in their deck, though. I'm wondering if it's still the right. A Braid, we could take a Braids out. But then that really puts us down for the 2-drop. Yeah, I don't think there's really a wrong card to bring in. Even their Dresses at this point. Dresses can proactively protect our combo. Submit, you stupid thing. Jeez, almost ran out of time. Man, Alexander must be specking on those Tetzimok, the way you're cheerleading for him so much. I've had one played against me, and it was actually okay. I was playing Marionette Master combo, though, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It was a little slow for what I was doing. By the way, still having a lot of success with it. I played it yesterday just for funsies because I couldn't go to sleep. And went 3-0 with the deck. Beat Mardu Vehicles, beat a mono red aggro deck, and beat... What was the other deck? I want to say it was Dinosaurs with the deck. And so it's still pretty powerful. Oh, no, it was Control. It was just flat-out blue-black Control. I won through a Scarab God, but that's just because my opponent got really greedy with Scarab God. Pro tip, if you're ever going up against a God Pharaoh's Gift, wait till the God Pharaoh's tries to activate and get whatever they're trying to get. Don't try to, tap out with it. So, I was able to just hard cast a Marionette Master, though, and just win. Hey, Scrawn, how's it going? The whole thing with 25 lands is we're going to be looting them, cycling and looting a bunch of them. We have 6 of them that can cycle. 1 that's a utility land, and 2 that are utility lands. 5 that are utility lands. Wow. So we do want the lands. 25 lands is we want to hit land drops. So here we go again. This is another risque hand because we have a naked dead dinosaur here, so it can be risque. Yeah, the gateway is definitely okay. And if we can get the Vance's Blasting Cannon, we're also good. This probably should have came out, to be honest, but anyway, it's fine. We have a Fatal Push, we have an Essence Extraction. We do want to hit... I honestly could have taken out Scavenger Grounds and gone a little bit lower land count. We're also on the draw, which makes this hand a lot more keepable. We didn't see a lot of 1-drops besides Soulscar Mage, which in all honesty isn't the greatest threat for us because we didn't see a lot of non-creature spells. So Soulscar Mage is one of those cards that's good in when you have shocks and lightning strikes and things like that. But all in all, it's not the most threatening card. They're using it for the -1/-1 counters, and I just don't have anything for it to put -1/-1 counters on, and so therefore it's not threatening. So there's a key to the city, which, again, is very... What is the combo here? What gets big? Do they just want Patcher to be unblockable? That's it. Okay.
Scorpion God is interesting against his deck.
Claim to Fame goes away. Yeah, Scorpion God is just... we put in the Scorpion God just as the only creature in the deck, and they have to kill it multiple times, if that's the case. So it's kind of like our renewable resource. All right, so we get another Dragon Skull Summit. That's iffy. I don't think we needed the Essence, so I think we can just throw out the Azor's Gateway just fine. So we don't care about the land coming in play tapped next turn, because we have a Fatal Push that doesn't kill a 3-drop, but we'll see what if our opponent just taps out for the key to the city. Yeah, that's a good sign, because that actually doesn't net up cards. It looted a Claim to Fame, which they're like, okay, we can give something +2/+0, but again, not very impressed with it, so... Now we have something we can get rid of with the Azor's Gateway. And we want to get to that third. We have a lot of things we can get rid of. And so let's just do that right now. I want to hit a... Ooh, that's pretty good. So Fatal Push, let's get rid of the odd one. Usually, a pro tip, use cards with the same art, because people know if you drew into a card if they were like to duress you. But I'm too lazy to fix that. MT Joe like prioritizes some, because I know I have 4 Fatal Push of these ones, and for whatever reason decided to put this one in as well. So we'll throw this Fatal Push, and then there's no point to the Arch. So we'll just throw this Dragon Skull Summit into play. All right, now we're in pretty good shape. The Arch of Araska probably doesn't get City's Blessing all too often. So yeah, so I think we might need to rethink this card and maybe go for another utility type land. Is there a good utility land though? We're running the Desert Ifnir. So I'm wondering if there's something in that a slot like the Arch of Araska that can just do something. I would do Rammed Up Ruins, but they banned the card, so...
Yeah.
Field of Ruin. Okay, J-Side says Field of Ruin. Okay, I agree, though. The Search for Azcanta might be a problem. The thing is, like, the blue-black control decks are doing okay. It seems like both the green-black Constrictor, Mardu Vehicles, and green-black, or Grixis Energy have favorable matchups versus blue-black control. So... when I used to play Green-Black Constrictor, it was one of my favorite matchups, was to go against Blue-Black Control, because they were just, the Cyber just wrecked them. Alright, so we'll go Arch of Araska. I can get rid of their key to the city, but I think we just... Now, there is Appetite that can hit this, but I still think that's the right route to go.
Yeah.
Just start getting the card advantage. Yeah, and they'll run out of Appetite type stuff eventually. There's still a card for a card that they eventually are going to run out of. Not activating the key to the city, so my opponent absolutely loves whatever is in hand. No Black Source. That's huge with my opponent. Kind of going a lot of different routes. That card can easily just be Fatal Pushed. Or we can actually even use an X... No, Fatal Push, because we already have a 1. So... yeah, I don't care if it explores. That's perfectly fine. Rootbound Crag did get the free card, but that still is kind of awkward. Just I'm not a fan of this Enter the Unknown. I don't think it does much. Maybe in like a Constrictor deck, it's okay because it can put in +1 counter against +2 on something like a Walking Ballista. But I mean, what's the best it can do? Like it seems very bad cantrippy because it might not draw you a card, and then you want the card on top, and you get a 1/1 counter, and that's it. Like, I'm not a fan of the card. Alright, Vance's Blasting Cannon. So, we get an Ifnir Deadlands. We'll definitely play that. Where is it? What? Is it cast? Oh, that stupid. Vance's Blasting... I've read this card wrong. I thought it was just another... This card's actually a lot worse than I gave it credit for. So we're just going to push. We can do that on my opponent's turn, I guess. Just hold up everything, and then I think I just pass here. I could... No, we're going to want to loot for sure. I think we can get rid of a Braid. So... yeah, I still want to hit a land drop, so a Braid's the right card. We'll throw the land drop out. And now we have the Scorpion God that can come out, but we have a Fatal Push. Does my opponent run Heroic Intervention? If they do, we have the backup Fatal Push. So if my opponent wants to use a card, it could be relevant. Oh, so they found the swamp. I'm surprised my opponent didn't loot for the swamp a lot earlier. Journey to Eternity. Womp womp. That was a very risky card to bring in. Again, we're in a 2-man queue. Sometimes the 2-man queues are loaded with power, and sometimes you kind of got... This deck seems a little wonky for me. There's a lot of things that just seem out of place, like the Key to the City. I understand the unblockable on Hepatra, but in all honesty, there's better ways to make your Hepatra unblockable just by removing what your opponent's trying to do. It just seems very wonky way to build Hepatra. So 1 card in hand. All right, Vance's Blasting Cannon. Don't you dare do this to me. Why couldn't we cast this? Did I just miss the trigger? Oh, I have to cast it for its mana cost? I may cast it this turn. Well, we missed the mana for it. So, womp womp. There's your your Tetzamok, Alex. All right, so yeah, we can go with the Scorpion God. It gives him a target, but I'm with you. I think it's too bad we didn't hit a land here. That would have been the most ideal scenario. But I think the second best one. That's what I like about Azor's Gateway. It's not a must. I mean, it's fine. It loots. It's better than Key to the City at this point, which does the exact same thing. So I'm wondering if some like Artifact Matters decks just want to run it as an artifact and then just never care about it flipping. I had it in a draft deck or a sealed, and it was really potent. As I don't think I flipped it. No, I did flip it. Did I get it flipped one time? But it was just really good at going through my deck. I was against you. I played it one of the matchups. What? We're gonna Scorpion God it up. So this card's decently good against us. The thing is, I can put a -1 counter on his Scorpion God. If I flip my Gateway, Sweltering Suns is pretty bad. At least it goes away. I can run like a Braid Cut Ribbons. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, I could kill it. It just goes back to the hand. I'm not sure I care too much about having a 6/5 out. I have a 6/5 out as well. My opponent has 1 black source. I have multiple black sources. I think I'm... And Grath. So here, I think that... So we have a 1 and a 2. We can get a 4. I'm going to get the 3 drop out of the way with the Essence Extraction. Unfortunately, we didn't hit another. Let's try to hit another land, though. So we're going to go ahead and put a -1 counter on the Scorpion God here. And I think I do attack in because it's... I guess my opponent would get their Scorpion God out first. Actually, it's when it dies. So yeah, my opponent probably doesn't want to attack. So I should have done that. Why was I thinking whenever a -1 would counter God on? That's when I... Yeah. We have Angrath that can take my opponent's card as well. See if my opponent does make the trade. See, that's fine too because it sets my opponent back. And we both get... Oh, it triggers off his own as well. That's pretty... Yeah, okay. That's pretty crazy. Thanks, Alex. We'll try to play some Tetzimoks in your honor. Hopefully one will stick. So my opponent does have to recast it. So do I. And I get a card here. And it is a land. I think we want to play it. Because I still want more lands to try to hit this city blessing. And I know it does work with Azor's Gateway, but I think we have better ways. And we're close to city blessing now. And both of these come back to our hands. Yeah, I'm okay with Scorpion Gods even just bouncing off each other over and over. And there is Scorpion God. As eventually I think I'll draw. Alright, there's another swamp. Doomfall is interesting here because we... Oh, it is Exile! Wow, yeah, that was the nuts. So we will definitely use the Doomfall. Yeah, I could have Angrath the Scorpion God to get the city's blessing, but I think just taking care of the Scorpion God is the right call here. And then we have the Azor Gateway we can do, and now I think we get rid of the land, because we could get rid of 5-drop here, or 4-drop. This other 4-drop's not necessary. But I'm thinking... It doesn't get in the grave, it exiles it. Yeah, it's tough. So that's probably actually... We probably don't need the second one. I'd rather hit this drop. And then what? We hit a swamp off the top there. So it's... Yeah. Maybe we didn't need to hit the land drop. But, I mean, it's closer to the city's blessing. We're so close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for city blessing. So far this deck's actually doing pretty good against clunky decks. I'm not sure how well it will do against... so I'm not going to use the... well, my opponent does have Scavenger Ground, so I could just Fatal Push it. But I think that the right play is just to give us a card for the Cut Ribbons. And maybe force off of a... probably not.
No, Cut Ribbon, Scorpion God.
Yeah, my opponent can get it back with this Claim to Fame. So I think I want to hold the Fatal Push up when he Claim to Fames it back, just to possibly protect Angrath, if that's the play. Why doesn't this work with lands? That is so disappointing. I don't think I'll play Vance's Blasting Cannons for that reason. Yeah, that's just tough. So here I think we can just get rid of the Hour of Devastation, and then we have 5, and we don't have to worry about lands. So I think I'm going to do that. And I have a feeling there's an Abrade in hand. Yeah, I probably should have ripped it out first. Yeah. And Vraska's Contempt's fine. I can just get rid of Hepatra at this point and not really worry about anything else, because it's going to come back with this Claim Fame. So I don't think we need the Hour of Devastation. And again, we can hold up either one. So we'll just claim it or cut it. And we're still in really good position. We have the Vraska's Contempt. Surprise. No, it wants the Claim to Fame back. Gonna go for Key to the City. Now that is a card I might need to worry about because it also allows my opponent to do the looting. And so I think end of turn I do Abrade. I'm surprised my opponent didn't Claim to Fame there. Because now this gives me something I could do on my turn if I care. See if this can get another land. Yeah, this card. 2, 3, 4. So let's just go with Angrath. Because it puts it up to 5, Claim to Fame only. And we actually can protect it with the Fatal Push. Oh, yeah. Claim is in the graveyard. The Fame is the part that just gives it haste. Correct. So we can go Scorpion God or Angrath. I think Angrath's just more powerful here. Yeah, you are correct. I was thinking it's the other way around, but that wouldn't make sense. Good old Angrath's just gonna win this game. And we gotta speed things up. Man, if I went to a game 3, I'd lose this game because I'm too busy chatting and trying to not make a mistake so you guys don't crucify me in the comment section. Yeah, exactly. Azor's Gateway's been fine for looting. We just discussed it's better than Key to the City in almost all cases. See if Advance's Cannon can find another. So it's hit everything we can't do. It's hit the 6-drop we didn't have mana for, and then all lands. Like, literally.
I tried it once, I didn't like it.
And Magma Spray is something that at least we didn't want to draw. So Mountain, and we have the City's Blessing now. We'll go. That's the art? Oh, no, I have to download it since I've never used it before. So I think just getting out the Scorp is the right play rather than trying to use... This speeds things up. We only have 5 minutes left. And then we'll pass the turn. We also have a Ribbons in our graveyard that we can speed things up with too. I guess I should take up auto yields if my opponent has something. Archfiend of Ifnir. I guess we can't Vraska's Contempt that because City's Blessing is not something you can tap. However, I can use that against my opponent and then... So I don't even want to put a -1/-1 counter on it. We just use it against our opponent. Vance's Blasting Cannon going to find us anything? Probably not. What are we sharpening our torches for? What'd I do this time? If near Deadlands is fine, we'll play it. And what Scavenger Ground. It's hit all useless stuff. I guess we didn't have to do it. So gain control. That puts us at 11. I believe we do with cut. Because my opponent tapped out of the Scavenger Grounds.
For no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. So... No cards in hand. A lot of times they forget that cut is in the graveyard. This card would have been fun with Ulamog in the format.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was just... I think it's hitting the wrong... There's not a lot of creatures that are worth... you might get Galta. Isn't that what it's called? Galta?
Yeah.
The big dinosaur. Well, that was fun. Let's make some changes. I'm not thinking I like this Vance's Blasting Cannon. I'm thinking I love Angrath. Like love Angrath. So, do we want to go up in Angraths? Do we want to go down in any particular cards? We didn't see Torment. We did see the Torment of Hailfire. We need to get to the Torment of Hailfire. The Blasting Cannon, I don't know if even deserves to be in the sideboard, is the problem. I'm not sold on this card now. So, it was one of our win cons that if we could flip it over off of Magma Sprays, and it seemed pretty fun with Azor's Gateway, but I just don't know if it's the right way to go. Hostile Desert. Hostile Desert is just the one that becomes a 3/4, isn't it? If Azor's Gateway looted, absolutely. In this instance, I don't think so. Arch of Araska, I don't think we're going to get City's Blessing that often, to be honest. I think it's just going to be a Field of Ruin. I think Field of Ruin might be a more relevant card here to give us at least one way to deal with the... What did I just take out? Oh, I take Vance's Blasting Cannon out too. Give us one way to deal with the Search for Azcanta. We could put a One of Rekindling Phoenix in the main. But it's something I like to bring in. We could still put the Golden Demise in main, another Vraska's Contempt. You can never go wrong with Vraska's Contempt because it's something you can easily just loot away. But I still think I want an Angrath. Double Angraths here. I was impressed with this card. How'd everyone feel about... Of course, we did go against a clunky deck again, and this card is going to be the definition of a card that rips up clunky decks. The 4-mana Tutor. That is actually pretty cool. Because it can get anything from the sideboard. So do you want to throw another Angrath in the sideboard, go down into one Gonti, and play the 4-mana Tutor for the lulz? What's the Tutor called? Someone shout it out. Well, the thing is why we're running the 2-drop slot for a Braid, Scrawn, is we don't have a lot of the 2-drop. That gives us 6 nons with the Azor Gateway. I don't want to keep it at least at 6. So Mastermind's Acquisition. I feel like this card is going to be terrible. All right. You're making me buy another card. 2 cards. So Yeah, Abrade is a super solid card right now too, because I can't think of a deck right now where Abrade doesn't hit something. So it hits Torrential Gearhulks, it hits, so there's your Grixis. It hits at least a Walking Ballista. I mean, that's not that great, but then it still hits Whiny Constrictor. So that matchup, golden. Marty Vehicles is the all-star card. Hits Godpharaoh's Gifts, of course. So it's definitely something that I'm thinking is deserving being 3 in the main. And it is that 2 mana, you can cycle it away with Azor's Gateway. Alright. More tickets wasted. Ay, ay, ay. I'm gonna have to tell my kids they're gonna have to go without food.
Kids within your dogs.
I'd never let my dogs go without food. If I had kids, man, they'd be on the streets working for it. That sounded very terrible. Aren't we against pedophilia right now? It's not what I meant. I mean, they'd be begging. What was the other card? So Mastermind. I'll keep you guys updated with Scout too. One of these days I might do a 24-hour stream though. I don't like doing any sort of streaming for nothing. So usually the way to generate revenue, and I call it revenue for a reason for Rogue Deck Builder, is people get something for what they pay. So all of my Patreon tiers at least reward people with something. And I highly suggest if you're part of the Patreon, use the rewards. There are so many people that don't. And I mean, it doesn't cost us anything at that point. You get the perks of being affiliated with a store that gets cheap prices. So anyway, where was I going with that? So anyway, that's I'm sure between my sister and I will be able to cover the surgery for Scout. We're still under for people that are joining now, poor Scout tore his ACL, so he is benched for a while. And the sad thing about that dog, I don't think I'd mind as much if the dog wasn't very active, but Scout is the definition of active. That dog just run. And it's his favorite thing to do is just run. And so he's not going to be able to run and go for walks for 6 to 8 weeks. And then after that, we have to decide if surgery is a must. And if surgery is a must, he'll be down for another probably 6 months. So we're deciding what to do with the poor guy. Anyway. So Angrath in the side, Angrath in the main. We have your tutor that we can go tutor up an Angrath. If I'm even pronouncing Angrath right, is this how you spell Angrath? I'm sure someone will correct me. We have the Mastermind's Acquisition. Let's play some more. Battle of the Bridge is okay, Ross. I just don't see it better than Magma Spray or Fatal Push at the moment. Yeah, Rabbit Bread still is a deck, and so is Marty Vehicle. So they're both okay, but I mean, you get the payoff definitely when you flip that card. I think it's like too slow for what you want it to do for everything. It takes 3 mana to kill I guess it only takes 2 to kill a Toolcraft Exemplar, and you gain a life, and 2 to kill a Veteran Motorist and a Kenra. Yeah, isn't it sorcery speed though, or is it instant speed? I thought it was sorcery, and that was like the bridge. Yeah, that's my problem with it. That sorcery clause. I do not think that sorcery at the moment is playable. I think we're going to run another removal spell. The Never to Return definitely looks like an option. Like I could cut like I don't want to cut here though. Probably it would be Vraska's Contempt for Never to Return in that slot. But Vraska's Contempt's really good against Hazarets. But Never to Return is a 7 converted mana cost, so it does give you an option for something to cycle. And it does have that, you get a 2/2 and you get to destroy a creature, but I don't know how relevant those are. Alrighty, so let's see if someone snipes me, little cheaters. What do we call this? Is that really the only amount of... You sniped one? You sniped? Oh, you snipers. Liliana, we talked about Liliana when we were building the deck. Liliana was just it's something you want creatures in Liliana, in my opinion. It's oh man, we ran out of pirate music. Let me fix that for everyone. I don't know if the music's even playing. I always like mess up with the volume, and because I've got it turned down on my end, so I don't have to hear it because it messes up with my equilibrium and concentrating. So therefore, I make worse play mistakes and even take longer when I'm even more distracted. But all right, let's go ahead and keep this hand. It doesn't really have what we need, but it's got 3 removal spells, and it's got a cycling land, which I actually don't know if I just want to play the Canyon. No, I think we have all of our mana sources, so I think we're in great shape here. Hey, and there we have the ultimate card. So do I want to go the I think I do just want to play this rather than cycle it now, because we have the way to dig. But it's another Braid deck. So I was hoping to go up against a deck where we don't... See, then we have cast outs that hit it. We have Ixalan's Binding. There's a lot of hate for non-creature cards right now that happen to also kill creatures. So it's kind of a weird... This is going to be Grixis. And unless there's some wacky mainboard negate that's going to use the Aether Hub mana, I think we should be fine here. All right. Could get abraded. Well then. Yeah, I know that's going to be an issue, but again, this isn't that bad of an investment. 2 mana, it gets abraded. You could say that maybe I should have waited there. But yeah. That's fine. Dragon Skull Summit here. Now I do want my cycling land back, but we have the 5 lands. We have an Hour of Devastation, which is good against this deck. I don't know. This is a Scarab God based deck, but we have the Vraska's Contempt. No blue source still. Hanging on that 1 Aether Hub. Still nothing. I'm thinking like a Glimmer is going to come in a turn when we don't cast anything. But this is going to be a long, grindy game. And that's where Vance's Blasting Cannon was perfect for this matchup. But you saw there's a lot of just stuff that we can draw that gets no... That thing didn't find us anything the entire game. So... Yeah, I agree. A third Planeswalker is better there. Speak of the devil. Now, the whole question is, I could run it out into a negate. Do they run the 3 mana counterspell unless you pay 4? I could also bait. I think that this is still the right play. I think just running out.
It looks like they're stumbling on land.
Yeah, they have no blue source. They could have a Vraska's Contempt, but
Probably do.
yeah, they probably have Vraska's Contempt, but at least we get. And unfortunately, we can't cast Azor's Gateway. That's rough. Because I believe they run Contempt main. I'm not sure. There's not a lot of... It depends on... That's going to be the problem. Everyone hated Teamer Energy for this very reason. It was just too damned versatile. So...
You can play anything in the format.
Do I just cut this? I think I cut this. So yeah, so anyway, it made it very hard to try to play against Teamer because you never know what flavor of Teamer they were. And... Alright, so let's exile the top card, see what we find. And so Grixis ends up being very similar. So Grixis could have a lot of just random cards being in that color combination. So we got rid of a Swamp. That's fine. I'm just going to cut. Because this is the perfect target for a cut. And... did not use the Whirl of Virtuoso, so decided that the mana was more important than trying to put pressure on the Chandra. Chandra is going to ult and win the game in this match, though. Yeah, they have to... They were the Whirl of Virtuoso for the blue. Stuck on the blue. There's the Spirebluff Canal. Comes into play tapped. Yeah, they need to find a Vraska's Contempt ASAP. Otherwise... the fiery bitch is going to... take over the game. Can I say that? Is that sexist? Is that... Alright, let's go ahead and exile the top card of my library. Ult range has been achieved. It says bitch demonetize you? I don't know if it does. Is that one too risque? Because I've got two of them like at our side here.
Yeah.
The technical term.
Surrounded by
Oh, they
bitches.
look so happy. Poor Ailey, no scout to play around with for a while. Chloe can't stand. Tyler has a dog. I'll have to show Tyler's. I think you've seen Tyler's dog Ailey before, but
She saw Chloe and got all excited. And
Yeah.
looked around for Scout.
Chloe's mean to her though, because Chloe is very possessive of her humans. So if I or Zach touch Ailey, she freaks out. Chloe freaks out, and Scout though would play with Ailey. I always randomly hit F6 when there's pauses, so we're going to. I think this Gemini is checking out the stream to see what we have in hand for the best play, because why else would they take a pause right here? Snipers. You sniping
Hey,
snipes.
I had kept your screen minimized at least.
Yeah, Tyler said he didn't cheat while he sniped me. I think obviously my play choices in that game too, but there was one time I was streaming when the person in my chat told me everything my opponent had and told my opponent everything I had. So then my opponent joined my stream and said that this person was telling everything. Yeah, it was kind of a mess.
That's silly. What's that little orange frame around the avatar?
Orange frame around the avatar? What the hell does that mean? Anyone care to? I think it was a special one for Amonkhet. I'm not sure. Maybe they won a league or something. I can't remember. I just chose the more lizardy looking one for my avatar. I'm bored too, Minecraft. Tell Gemini to quit sniping me and trying to scroll back through my deck tech. How many hours can you go back on this and find exactly what they're going against? They're gone for 10 minutes, they get disconnected. Well, this is the whole reason, too, why I play in the two-man queues, rather, because the EV, the value of two-man's awful. You get 5 for losing, 34 winning, so apparently Wizards feels like they need to charge you 50 cents every time you play a match with the game, which is absolutely ridiculous. 40 going in should be paid 40 going out. It makes no sense to me. Drafting is even worse right now with the EV. The estimated value is very dependent right now on how much packs the contents of the packs are worth, because the prize is so god awful. I guess while we're being bored here, I can show you
Are friendly leagues
that yes, friendly leagues are the most value. Friendly standard or friendly constructed are the best value. So let's go to goatbots.com. Oh, so my opponent has lost the connection. So apparently, while they were browsing YouTube, they didn't have enough bandwidth. So GoatBots, you can go to this EV calculator here, and you can see the current EV calculator, a format challenge, which this is the only way that they can bribe it. I hear that this is actually wrong, though, because it doesn't have like all of the, it's like weighing these higher. So this isn't the EV for it. So currently 50% win rate. It's actually pretty good for the leagues. The two-minute queue, of course, is low, but look at draft. And, of course, your draft contents are going to be the gamble. You have to make up at least that much of value out of your draft to make it worthwhile. So you need to be up to a 56%. That's actually not bad for the friendly plus 0 league. But you can scroll this to see where it's profitable or not. But anyway, we find a Primal Amulet. I think I will cast that. Let's see if this one gets abraded. And we'll leave up the Magma Spray / the... Oh, we don't have a Fatal Push anymore. But my opponent is under a lot of pressure here. Now a Primal Amulet is threatening, which can easily win the game because we have the ribbons in the duplicated ribbons, which this actually adds a mana, is very threatening. And we have the Chandra, which is going to just ult next turn. I don't think you ever hold it up unless I'm worried about a... What's the card? 3 mana spell, counter spell. That can
Red
also... No. It's blue. It's got blue.
No, that'll prevent the ult.
Yes, it's disallow.
Oh, yeah.
Disallow prevents ult. I've walked into disallow many times.
I thought you were talking about
Gonti
the
is
engine.
pretty much saying you win the game, Kevin, because we will ult the Chandra, and that's going to put way too much pressure on my opponent, I believe. Yeah, I think that we go for the ult no matter what here. Because there's very few decks that can survive the ult of... Because currently there are still no ways to deal with emblems. Wonder if one day down the road there will be. And that's a pretty decent card too. Other than we get the 5 damage to the face, so now we can just cut. Yeah, there should just be a scoop here. There's no way this deck can deal with a Chandra ult. So I might just want to go... No, we'll just put a cut in the graveyard. Or just want to do Hour of Devastation. I think Hour of Devastation just to get a card in the graveyard is fine. And we're not going to tap our mana this incorrectly because we Magma Sprayed and it turn on anything, Kevin. And it kills anything, even a Glorybringer with our ult. So we'll just do an Hour of Devastation. It puts a counter on the Primal Amulet. I think that's the best route. Oh, ha! Guess what costs 1 less, too?
Yeah.
There we go. Forgot that's with Primal Amulet as well. Alright, so Chandra gets to deal a damage. Gaunty gets to get incinerated. And the Primal Amulet gets a counter on it. And then we have the Torment of Hailfire next turn that I believe just wins the game. Yeah, we could have done 2 mana, Ross, with Chandra, and then go Torment of Hailfire, and then watch my opponent have to discard everything out of their hand to survive. But I think this is the better route to go. So Liliana's Death Magistry is going to return Gaunty, but it's too little too late. Because we'll just Magma Spray. Really? Going to go for the zombie. I think that was the wrong play. And we do not want to redirect this. And we kill the zombie. And I don't know why my opponent's hanging on, but kudos to my opponent. They are a trooper. As we have lethal on board in lots of different ways. Let's just go for a no known information. The least information, the better. So adjust, pay. How do I pay another one? Pay is 5. How much mana? Done, sure. Did that reduce it? I don't know if it did, but I hate sometimes the MTGO. Because we had Torment for 5. Yep, that's correct. So we just beat the Tier 1 deck. The Tier 1 of the Tier 1. Now my opponent has the Gaunties. This is decently powerful of what I'm trying to do. Like, Hour of Devastation I like a lot here. Because I believe they run 2 Chandras, 1 Liliana. If that is correct. Vraska's Contempt probably wants to come in at a higher quantity. And I think Gaunty wants to be in this deck. Now, Alex isn't here any longer, so we don't have to run in Tezimok. The Scorpion God still does seem pretty good. I didn't have any removal, so I'd like to at least put something. But is it worthwhile to try to beat through? It's a great way to kill like Whirl of Virtuoso tokens. And we could also bring in the Rekindling Phoenix, but this is like a match I don't know if we need it. My opponent's going to try to bring in more stuff against me. I do want Dispossess for Trental Girok, but we don't know if this is a Trental Girok running deck. So again, there are no wrong answers and right answers. Angrath might be a little bit too hard to protect in this particular matchup. And look, Purple's in the house now. Was all fun and games till Purple joined. I know, we don't have the Clorox ready, so here comes the comment.
Oh, I showed it to him.
Oh, is it here? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, never mind. We have our T's crossed and our I's dotted for Purple not to rage at us that we're not keeping a cleanly environment. Vraska's Contempt, I think, are really good in here. My opponent tends to be a little bit clunkier. Sweltering Suns is one of those, I don't know if like a Long Tusk Cub's going to hit us, or the Glint Sleeve Siphoner, and it's good versus the tokens. But I think Hour Devastation is just where we're going to rely on. Yes, Duress can come in. There's a lot of things that we can actually do here. Lost Legacy I don't like, because Lost Legacy, the only time I like to use it is versus decks with one-trick ponies. I'm not a fan of putting in a card that when they have multiple win cons. So Magma Spray, I didn't see anything that's worthwhile. I can cut a couple Fatal Pushes as well. And Primal Amulet is still okay. I believe in this one. I still think it's fine. I think we actually want Sweltering Suns because they still line up pretty well with... There goes our 1-drop completely, though, without the Fatal Pushes. So they run Glint-Sleet Siphoner, but that's it. I'll run Tezemet, and maybe we'll throw another Angrath. Duress might be where we should be with this. Yeah, whatever. I don't think there's any wrong or right answers with this deck. Again, that's my problem with our sideboard, is I think the matchup we're going to have the toughest against is just like the Torrential Gearhulk do-nothing deck or Approach the Second Sun. I don't know if we have enough hate. This is a very keepable hand. We have a Braid. We have a lot of... So now even a Glint-Sleet Siphoner is not threatening because we have the answer to it. So... Angrath doesn't seem necessary or right, but we can always take a Torrential Gearhulk and beat him with it, which might be the difference of this game or not. Oh, wow, this is awful. Do I want the Dragon Skull Summit in play? Probably, because I can cycle this away. Yeah, let's just do that. I was hoping we had a non-basic land just to throw in for the Summit, but I mean, at that point, we can just put a tap land in anyway. So yeah, we expected the Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. I can take care of it with the Abrade, which I think is the right play. So, unless they have a backup, that's why I think Abrade is just more versatile. Kills like the Torrential Gearhulk and the littler creatures. But if we get hit with a second Glint-Sleeve Siphoner, that's just MT Joe running cards like it usually does. Besides Atali, what's my favorite commander card from Rivals? I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Unfortunately, they worded Alondra wrong. They should have said left the battlefield, knowing that Commander would be a card that it could be played in. But no, Wizards never has that sort of... So, okay. Do we want the Azor's Gateway to be abraded again? At least it will get some value, though. So... we'll go the Gateway.
Angrath is good in Commander.
Well, Angrath's not a commander.
Just a playing commander. He was saying something
Commander card.
Slaughter the Strong is one of his.
Alright, so we got rid of a Supreme Will, which I'm okay with. Unfortunately, we have these Hour Devastations where the Gateway was something that we probably wanted to hit. And I played a land this turn, right? Yep, okay. Oh, so just Commander card. Commander card. What have I thrown in a few decks? I'm not sure. I'll get back to you on what has been like the most improved card. Hey, Gonti for Gonti. We're gonna have a Gonti. Oh, I can't even Gonti next turn unless I get a land that comes into play untapped. So now I'm wishing I would have gone the desert. Gonti for Gonti. All right. So we are going to say we're going to get an untapped land here. Essence Extraction's kind of untapped. It's something I can use, though. I don't think I care about this Gonti. I think I'd rather just cycle the Sweltering Sun. 2 damage isn't relevant. And there could be multiple Gontis. We've seen a Gonti every game now. So hopefully my opponent didn't find like a Chandra. That would be devastating. We'd have to draw a land to deal with the devastation of the fiery card that I'm not going to... Ooh, so here do I need to... Nah. They're gonna grab Gonti here. Doomfall is okay. It's a card for a card. Gonti will be the pick. I'm 99% sure it's Gonti. Immortal Sun's just too much of a... just a kind of a boring card in my opinion. Ooh, I want that Abrade back now. A treasure map. So my opponent brought in a lot of hate. Essence Extraction, no. We're going to stick with our plan. We're going to cycle this Sweltering Sun. And there's an Abrade. We will use the Abrade on the good old treasure map because it absolutely is worthwhile to get rid of the treasure map. It's the card that's going to give my opponent card advantage back. But yeah, don't get me started on how much I hate the Immortal Sun, because it's just a lazy card. All right, so why did my opponent throw out a Whirler Virtuoso knowing that I want to be casting Hour Devastation for some value next turn? I think that's a very poor play. But who am I? I am just a one-time Pro Tour person, so not much of a pro experience, right? All right, well, Hour Devastation here. Could be a negate. All right, let's see. We got a two for one, sort of. My opponent used the card Doomfall against me was the card they grabbed from me. So that's out of the way. There's another World Virtuoso. Not sure if I throw out another Hour Devastation or if I just go Estus Extraction. I think Estus Extraction is the better card. We can cycle this away. I think at this point, it's not a card we need, so we'll cycle it away. And that's an okay card later on. So this is going to be a card advantage war at the end. Do I want to hold up for a possible... I think we deal with it right now. I think I deal with it right now. Force out the counterspell if there is one. Force out the energy if there's energy. And this gives us some nice little targets for the Scorpion God. The thing is, we have Torrential Gearhulk possibly showing up. Well, that's my problem, Jonah. So Immortal Sun just needs to go in every commander deck now. I hate those lazy cards. It gives me some... You know what? Maybe it is my favorite card, because now I have another target I can steal from Theta with Theta, and then I can blame my opponents when I do something crazy. Not my card. That's my favorite thing with the Tally and with Theta, is a lot of people complain about the power level of my decks, and so I built these, like, use your cards against you decks, and then when they moan about my decks, I'm like, not my cards! I didn't infinite combo with my cards, I infinite combo with your Paradox engine. So... Now, I have a Torment of the Hailfire I can just run. My opponent would probably just run out. I think that we just run out the Scorpion God here. I don't think I do another Hour of Devastation. I could go another Hour of Devastation, or we could just pass the turn. I don't like not playing a card here, because I think that my opponent has another counterspell, but if it is, it's like a Supreme Will type card. So, I don't know. I think we run out Scorpion God here. And when it gets countered, you guys can definitely get upset with me. Oh, it sticks. Look at that. Vraska's Contempt it. Okay, that works too. So the Torment of Hailfires are kind of very awkward, because they just don't do enough at the moment. I can always go this Hour of Devastation. I'm hoping my opponent throws out another, like a Virtuoso here would be awesome. Glimmer, ugh, that's the last card I wanted to see, as it just card advantage. I can take some hits for a while. Vraska's Contempt is fine. Hour of Devastation, at this point, what does it hit? Can hit another Gaunty. We can end a turn. Yeah, these Thopters are going to be very annoying. So, lands aren't really dead either for me, because they allow for a bigger Torment of Hailfire, and eventually this can be a lethal Torment of Hailfire. Best case scenario is my opponent throws out a Scarab God here. I would say that would be... Or another Whirler Virtuoso that gives me... another Glimmer. So the card advantage is real. I was hoping to win this card advantage war, but it looks like we are... not winning. Field of Ruin doesn't really do much. I could run out a Torment of Hailfire for 4. That's 12 life. My opponent would have to discard cards at this point. I could just run out an Hour of Devastation. But that also doesn't seem very good. I mean, it could stop the bleeding for a turn or two, but I'm not certain it's the right route. We could get rid of these... No, because my opponent just has another non-basic land they can get with... Yeah, I think my opponent's going to try to run these Thopters off to victory. And unfortunately, with that Scorpion God getting countered, like, that's the problem with Vraska's Contempt, too. I knew this would, playing a low creature count, they still have the Vraska's Contempt for Chandra's. So I think we just have to bait out as much cards as possible and just hope my opponent gives me some more value. And there is one of them. Now, do I want to Contempt it to try to force out a counterspell? I think the answer is yes, because I don't think my opponent would play this except if they had a counterspell. Okay, allows it to happen. I think I'm okay with that. We still have Hour of Devastation. I mean, it was definitely worth the try. So here we have... Ooh, do I want to keep up the Scavenger Grounds just in case? I think I do. So we'll go Azor's Gateway. Gets negated. Fair enough. And, yep, those two Glimmers are going to be the difference of this game. And the Gonti. And our Gonti going first versus going second was huge for that play. We'll have a big advantage by racing the counterspells next turn. I'll bring in Duresses. My opponent brought in so much. I probably should have thought my opponent was going to adjust a lot. So Duresses come in. And now, these lands aren't terrible. The more the merrier. Eventually, I'm going to have to throw out the Hour of Devastation. What do we have here, though, if... I think I can take another hit. We're going to wait one more turn for possibly another land. And, well, the Ifnir kills the Thopters at the cost of a land, though. I'm not sure I'm willing to take that trade at the moment. We still have time. And maybe that will come back to bite me. But, yeah, my opponent's just keeping up counters. So, I don't know if I have an option. Tournament of Hailfire I don't think is worthwhile at this point either. Okay, we'll kill the Thopters with some Ifnir Deadlands from here. We have a Scavenger Ground. I want to keep the Scavenger Ground, but... And that will speed up or give me a few more turns. But the thing is, the longer this goes on, the Drago deck is better. Oh, it's sorcery speed with this stupid thing. I always forget that. 2 of them are instant speeds, 2 of them are sorcery speeds. So, yep, alright. Womp womp. I definitely don't want to use it as sorcery, because that leaves up the Torrential Gearhulk. We just lost this game. It's too much stuff going on. Yeah, Duresses, I need to eat out the hand with Duress. Another Desert of the Glorified. Well, we'll do it now. And I do think we'll just play the Desert then in that case. This will force out my opponent to do stuff. Otherwise, the card is getting up to the lands. So with yeah, I still think we keep in the... Yeah, maybe the Amulet does come out in this game. I'm not sure. It seems like a pretty good one to stick. Ugh, there we go. That's something I can Field of Ruin, though, if that flips over. And there is a Primal Amulet, but I think I will take the advice and go ahead and kill off the last Thopter. And then we have Field of Ruin for when the Search for Azcanta flips. But that does give my opponent still card advantage. Oh, not really, because it's still a card for a card. Decided not to. So Hour Devastation, I need this to hit. Unfortunately, though, I don't know if I can. Because the World of Virtuoso just kills me if that's the case. So we'll go with the Hour Devastation. Yeah, Duress. I should have expected the my opponent switching up to a lot more non-creatures. But wow, I am surprised at that.
Must just be creature or something.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what my opponent had in hand. Because these were definitely the right... World Virtuosos were taking care of 2 Glint Sleeve Siphoners. This could come to the point where my opponent just doesn't have a lot of answers for what I'm doing either. So, and is deciding not to have the Search for Azcanta. Has been using it to... Did loot there. So I wonder if I just cast a big Torment of Hailfire. Because I'm actually thinking I think that's the best. But then it flips over. I think we go for Primal Amulet, or do we go for Angrath? Because Angrath seems pretty good if it sticks. I'm going to go with Primal Amulet, though. But no, because Angrath does give us the mana. 2 mana. Yep, okay. It's going to be most likely going to get countered. Surprised that my opponent didn't counter for the World of Virtuoso. Just win at that point. Would have been able to, well, not quite win, but get me down to a 2. But we have some pretty decent Doomfall. Okay, well, say goodbye. Wait, we want this when... No. If I give it the chance to target, I still can respond, right? Right? Because then my opponent just negates if that's the case. But then we get rid of a negate. I just die, but I don't die to lethal. I'll have a whole turn to draw into an answer.
I feel like you would have played negate if you had it like on our devastation.
Yeah, the negate on something instead of... I agree. So the Scavenger Grounds probably wants to kill itself, or do we want to kill the Ifnir Deadlands at this point to keep up another one? Huh. This is a tough... We'll do the Scavenger Grounds. But this is kind of weak because it just dies. I wonder where my opponent wants to go with this, though. Because unfortunately, we don't kill the... Yeah. It's not that backbreaking. Of... Yeah, I think my opponent will go to my face. I don't think they go towards Angrath. So, Torrential Gearhulk definitely is in here. Ravenous Chupacabra? What the hell? Yeah, I'm definitely not bringing any creatures. I'm taking everything out. So, other than yeah, because Vraska's Contempt takes care of the Ashnod. This can be a big nickel bolus. The Scarab God. Kept in the Scarab God. So, where is my opponent going to go? Because then it can then end a turn. The thing is, I don't think... Really? Going to go towards my face here. I guess he's got to get attack that can... And I can't throw enough Torrential or Torment of Hailfire out to stop this. So that doesn't do anything to go tutor up anything. Alright. So, we definitely want the Abrade still. Dispossess seems okay. Other than... I'm thinking my opponent probably has like 1 is all. The Scorpion God doesn't seem very relevant with Vraska. Other than Vraska's Contempts are a limited resource. Duresses definitely want to come in. Essence Extraction's a no-no. I probably should have taken that one out. Do we need Mastermind Acquisition? Can go get a Golden Demise, but I don't think it's the right call in this one. Because we're... Lost Legacy I don't like in here. The Dispossess can get the Torrential Gearhulk, but what if it's a one-of? I don't know if it's got a lot of relevant stuff beyond that. I mean, I would like to rip it out, but I don't know. Maybe we can go down in the Hour Devastations. There's just not... we could go way down in the Hour. We could put in Dispossess and Lost Legacy. And we could rip out some... Yeah, we can rip out win cons. I don't know if there's a lot of win cons. Tezamok, I still don't think it's the right call. I don't like it. I don't like Rekindling Phoenix because I think it just dies to too much. It could be the card. It dies to Vraska's Contempt. And yeah, it does come back to everything else. It has to be killed twice. Argo's Bloodfast could definitely come in versus this matchup. I still want the Sweltering Suns because it kills enough. So is there something that this Rekilling Phoenix is just better against? Cut Ribbons? And take out the Scorpion God?
Or is Unlicensed Disintegration something like this?
Unlicensed Disintegration is a hard kill, but you're probably right. This gives us kind of an awkward ability with the Azor's Gateway, but we might not even need the Azor's Gateway to be a thing. Yeah. Okay. See where we're at. This is keepable. We have the first turn. We don't have a first turn duress, but I don't know if we even care about first turn duress because we can still rip out what we need. This is a pretty sweet hand. The only cards that I don't want to face right now is going to be the Glint Sleeve Siphoners. But opponent's got a lot of weird cards like the Ravenous Chupacabra. This is definitely a match I want more Gaunties. Gaunties are powerhouse in this matchup. And I do have a lot more dead cards than my opponent, so I think I give my opponent the advantage in this matchup. We have a lot of cards that are really clunky unless they stick. And cards like Whirler Virtuoso is a card that I think is something that we have to answer. I mean, they're still really good at producing energy. Again, this is a version that didn't even care about a Tuner Rogue Refiner and was successful pre-ban. So, I mean, their Glimmers are still great at generating that energy. And yeah, Glimmer's another push card. Scry 2 energy and draw 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one seems like it's should have been a sorcery speed at that point. So I'm going to put the slow into play tapped, and then we'll dress turn 2. Gives us more options. No, I don't believe that pay 1 life on turn 1. We don't even know. We don't have a turn 2 play. So just going for the Ifnir Deadlands and paying a life. So now my opponent can take out a duress with a duress, which is okay. But I'm thinking this Angrath is going to be the card that is going to get ripped out. This gives me a lot of information, though. If it takes duress, maybe there wasn't anything worthwhile. But at this point, I think that if I would have duressed, I would have turn 1 wanted to take a duress, so my opponent then couldn't duress something that was good here. But so I mean, that's basically my opponent's using their turn to do my turn and get information. Okay, well, there's some information. So wants to keep that Glimmer. We draw the Gateway, which ends up being a good card. And now my opponent can put out the Siphoner, which off the hub is going to be very annoying if there is a Siphoner. Ay, ay, ay. And I don't really have anything for that we could even top deck besides just a Sweltering Sun. So I think that we're just going to get this online. And we'll put a slow underneath it. We could put in Primal Amulet. I'm not sure how well it's going to. I'm going to put the slow underneath, and we're going to play this one. So there we go. Glint Sleeve Siphoner gets the card advantage. Annoying card with Aether Hub on turn 2. These draws are the ones that are tough when they have the nuts with that. So yeah, the thing is, Justin, we didn't see a duress from my opponent, did we? On their whole game 2. So I wasn't expecting duress, but I mean, it probably should. They get really clunky when they're playing counterspells removal. The Captain Ravenous Chupacabra, for hell's sake. There's no room for duress at that point, in my opinion. But, you know, that's life. We got hooked by a duress. If I would have seen like a card like this, of course, a duress for a duress, because now my opponent's got the information. And worst case scenario, another Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That can actually work out in my favor. I think we get the Primal Amulet out. This is rough though. The double Glint Sleeve Siphoner can be extremely rough. I don't think we care about Azor's Gateway. Like, I could loot and try to find something here. Or I could just plain Vraska's Contempt one of these Siphoners. So I could loot and just hope that we find... We get the Primal Amulet, that reduces the cost. I don't know, I might just need to Contempt here. I don't know if the double Siphoners are actually relevant, though. Well, we can kill one and then Agrath another. No, I'm going to get the Primal Amulet out. I think it's the better play. Yeah, probably. She'll be fine. Yeah, Dual Shot's actually not bad. We could actually think about putting that, or Chandra's Pyro Helix. Both of those. Chandra Pyro Helix is a little bit better than Dual Shot, as it can do 2 damage to a creature, and that's actually relevant with a number of creatures right now. That's a Merfolk Lord. But these Glint Sleeves are just going to... I think my opponent's just going to hold up the counter magic now. And just beat me down with these Glint Sleeves. We do have an opportunity, unless a negate, I mean, is what it is. But Angrath can actually take care of one of these Glint Sleeves. I'm not sure if that's the right play. We did take out the Hour Devastations. A Braid can take care of... We can actually take care of... No, just one, because this stupid Desert comes into play. Tapped. Ay, ay, ay. This is rough. Okay, so... No, we can take care of both. Do I want to take care of both is the thing. I think I need to. I think I need to bite the bullet. Contempt one. Abrade the other. And just cry with the card advantage, but we have to stop this. So my opponent most likely... Do they have a Censor in this meta? Do I hold the Abrade up? I think I have to play this stupid thing because we want more lands. In my opinion, we want that 5th land. So I think we go to end step here. Okay. I don't think my opponent's doing anything. So if there's a counterspell, there's a counterspell. At least it rips it out of the hand. I have to start playing faster with 4 minutes left. The good news is we do have... Yep, there's the negate. So my opponent's going to continue to draw. Oh, had to use the mana, though. Awesome. That worked out very well. So now we can try Angrath. Treasure Map. There's still possibly another negate, but Angrath is pretty good here. My opponent's got the negate. They got the negate. So we'll go Angrath. We doesn't get a scry off of the... Alright, double negate. We'll play the Deadlands. Or do we want to keep the Deadlands? I could just go like a Hail Mary Azor's Gateway, but I think we want to keep the Deadlands in for something to do. Oh yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh no, I'm good. Thanks. So there's the treasure map is going to scry and then the draw ability. Yay. Where's the Virtuoso draws this time? We get the hand for the what our opponent played last time around, and then just get clobbered by negates this time around. Still missing land drops though. That's kind of crazy. So let's get rid of... I could also have Ifnir Deathlands over. Do you just want to kill the Glint Sleeve Siphoner? I think that's the right play. And we can kill this Ifnir Deathlands because we have another one. And then we can use it. Oops, I probably should have waited. And then there's the Dragon's Summit underneath it. Even though that's not ideal, it's still a card. Oh, that treasure map is going to be very annoying. Found another land. Because I'm assuming my opponent's just got so much counter magic still up. Address would be reasonable here. I don't think I'd care too much if a Torment of Hailfire went away. Okay, so the good thing is we also have a loot. I have an Abrade I can draw onto that can kill the treasure map if that's a thing. We probably do want to loot a Torment of Hailfire. The thing is, though, if we get this flipped... that's too far off to flip. We're way far off. It's just going to be triple on the Torment of Hailfire. We'll probably kill a land to kill it, because I can't allow that to happen. Still a negate in my opponent hand? Are you kidding me if that's the thing? I go Vraska's Contempt, or do we want to use a land at this point? What's the odds for another negate? Knowing my luck, it's a 1000%. I think we want to keep up a... No, there is no... We want to keep up Duress mana just in case, though, so let's not use this mana. This adds a black, and... Oh, actually, we just need one, so we can do this. We'll Contempt it right now. Triple negate, triple Glint Sleeve Siphoner, and then we can rage about the Shuffler again. Yeah, this Shuffler's so busted. These runs happen every stinking game. Alright, that's good, though. We'll get rid of the Torment of Hailfire, and then... Which one do I do? Yes. Alright, we got our card advantage, but we're down to 2 minutes and whatever, and the treasure map is... Alright, all your negates are gone, all your Glint Sleeve Siphoners are gone. We're done with this. Now they're gonna... But the thing is, like, everything's relevant now. So that pops the treasures. We still have the Azor's Gateway. We have 2s and 1s. We have something we can use with the Ifnir Deadlands. Whoa there. We have Mike's fallen over. And we have a Liliana to get back. Oh, awesome. That's exactly what I wanted to face now, with the Glint Sleeve Siphoner coming back. So we have to kill a Glint Sleeve Siphoner for the... So the best thing I can draw into is an Hour of Devastation, because that will give us the... That is not, of course, the card. I could kill the Glint Sleeve Siphoner with the land. I think that's the right... Sweltering Suns I think I want to put underneath the Azor's Gateway. And, again, this is annoying, but I think is the right play. Two minutes. And this time they're just going to go with a black zombie. Awesome. And there's the Scarab God and a Whirler Virtuoso, which are both relevant cards. The problem is we have the treasures that are going to get it out of hand. We are getting very close. Abrades, though. See, look how much Duress, Negate, Abrade, the other counterspell. There's not a lot of room for Ravenous Chupacabra. That's the one that surprises me that it was still in. All right. Let's see what we draw into. That is a great card. I think that we could actually flip it, though, right? No, we'd need one more. So, what is the odds? Does this actually protect itself very well, though? I'm not sure. We'll try a Chandra. I have a minute and 51 seconds. I'm going to time out no matter what. Here is going to be Torrential Gearhulk Negate. Yeah, Liliana can do the... Glimmer is going to try to draw negate number 4. Swear to God, if it happens. Now, do I YOLO the Azor's Gateway just to try to find something? I think at this point I need to. So, okay, it can sacrifice 3 treasures. Supreme Will. Ay, ay, ay. I don't have... This is only 2 mana, right? Add 1 mana. Alright, so we are just going to YOLO the Azor's Gateway. Hey, that worked! The YOLO works. We need one more card. And the thing is, though, my life total will be pretty low. What can we do? Azor's Gateway, we need to flip a 5-drop. 5 or a, what, a 2? No, a 1. A 1 or a 5, which is, yeah, this gets pretty tough. and then have naturally draw the Torrent of Hailfire. That's the other route we can go. But our opponent just has so much cards in hand. Torrential Gurhook has to be coming up. If he kills Lily and brings back Scarab God, I don't care. Oh yeah, that is pretty rough because then it can bring back like a Whirler Virtuoso, but it doesn't change our play whatsoever. We can still find 4, 3, 2, 0. So 5 or a 1. And also allows... Okay, and then we can still draw into the Hour Devastation. I don't know why I took Hour's Devastation. Now I'm thinking about it, it's still pretty good. Yep, did go for that play. So Hour Devastation's fine as well. Alright, come on! Torment of Hailfire. This adds double. Does that do anything? Do we use the mana? I mean, what's my opponent at? They have plenty of cards in hand, so... Alright, here we go. We need this to happen. But we're still vulnerable to a negate. Oh, that's not what we want. Womp womp. Do I have a turn, though, don't I? Or do I die? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm just dead. So, womp womp. Needed to be a 4 or a 1 there. And we could have done a Torment of Hailfire for 4. Huge, because this would have done for 10 mana. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we were close, though.
Yeah, there was a chance.
And we go out with a bang, though, with the Torment of Hailfire. So we did draw the one that we needed. We just needed the other. Yeah. That would have been... At that point, I would have said Magic Online is definitely hacked. Doesn't matter, because our opponent has a Glimmer. Okay. I don't know why my opponent's too concerned with this. They have treasures they can sack. Man, these games took longer than I anticipated, too. I think we're only going to get time for this particular brew. I'm going to play it one more for sure. But I wonder if there's, like... Isn't there Lay Bare? Lay Bare still seems like a very relevant card for a 2. Like, this is what I was worried about. If we don't go against a creature-based deck, we just get eaten alive by... these tempo decks are perfect. And this is exactly what Grixis Energy is meant to beat up. Is a deck like mine that doesn't produce threats early. And maybe the sideboard after game 3 was very, like... tuned, but again, 3 Glintstone Siphoners, 3 negates. That was tough. Those are the cards that get us. My opponent didn't. Oh, my opponent just passed the turn. I don't know if there's anything I can do. Now we need cut ribbons. Oh yeah, that just kills me. They wanted to show off their nickel bolus. Yep. All right. You got the arena code. That's something I will never get. Alright, any changes? I think we do want Lay Bare in here. And we could Lay Bare. That's the wrong bear. We don't want that type of bear. We want that type of bear. As this gives us another... Hey, we can take Testament out. Shh. Alex isn't in here anymore. We can take Testament out. I just don't see a lot of matchups where that card is going to be relevant whatsoever. We're already heavy on creature removal. I think the last thing we need is another creature removal. So now we have Lay Bare. I think a 2-of copy because this allows us to remove. Does Argos Bloodfast want to be in here? You could email me it if you don't want it. The thing is that who signs a non-disclosure agreement at that point? Is that against their... Yeah, possibly. Possibly I should have gone with Thing is, I want to add some more Gaunties. Is it just better than Rekindling Phoenix? However, you guys made me purchase those Rekindling Phoenix, and they were expensive. So god damn it, we are getting the money out of our Rekindling Phoenixes. We're not cutting them. I could cut an Hour of Devastation. Is 3 enough, or is 2 enough already? The thing is, we could also go more of this toolbox feel with the Mastermind's Acquisition. I don't know if this card's good, though. The whole... I just don't like it. I'm sorry. It's getting cut. I don't like it. You know, it's just... I think Gonti here is a 1-of is fine. And the 4, I don't know. Is Gonti the right call? Or just another Hour of Devastation just to really protect us against this. This allows 3 Duresses, 2 Lay Bears. This gives... We could put like another... We could put Golden Demise in here, but I think that's definitely a sideboard of the Sweltering Suns because you can't cycle it. Yeah, I'll never give my source out. That's fine. If you want to ship me off your little arena code, I'm 100% with that. Or will they sue me for it since they didn't send me it? They sent it to someone else. I don't know. Wizards is getting crazy right now. Funny thing is that I know a person had access to Arena like day 1 before anyone did because they have insiders. Not going to name names here, but I'm sure you can deduct and figure out who. I was very surprised by that we were messing around with Arena like in its alpha stages. Alrighty, so we could put another Vraska's Contempt. That doesn't seem bad. Another Angrath. This card has definitely... We could put a Rekindling Phoenix. Just game number 1, I think that these cards are just going to get the removal. Whereas Gonti, I think, is the right call. We did say we wanted another 3-drop. This is where like Lay Bear could easily be in this slot. I think Lay Bear is the right card here in the main. Or just even Duress in the main. Like, we could cut a Fatal Push and even put a Duress. But Lay Bear seems like it does the most against the most. There's some decks that I absolutely don't want it. And the thing about Lay Bear is it doesn't hit Hazaret. It doesn't hit Heart of Quran. It now doesn't hit... it now doesn't hit Planeswalkers. Ugh. The new change of Planeswalkers means this card's a lot worse. Is there a 2-drop that actually does... RogueDeckbuilder@gmail.com is a more consistent email. All Kevin at RogueDeckbuilder.com does is forwards it to RogueDeckbuilder@gmail.com. So that's the best way to send it to me. I don't think I'll try streaming for sure. Like I don't want to mess with Wizards by streaming their arena. They'll come at me. So, but if you're not using your copy, I'd love to mess around with it. The new Planeswalker rule, Ross, is they're legendary. They're considered legendary permanents. So, Lay Bear does not hit them. So, what's the discard route? Is there a 2-mana converted mana cost discard spell? Boring. You always run a Cathartic Reunion in this. I don't like Cathartic Reunion, though. Tormenting Voice and Cathartic Reunion just get hit by so many sensors that they've left a bad taste in my mouth. Kai'Sail Freebooter is just the exact opposite of what this deck wants to be doing. That gives a bazillion targets for a card that doesn't... Like, it's something you could bring in, but it's just still... it's kind of... meh. Yeah, I guess for sideboard, yeah, sideboard, I guess it is something we could do. Yeah, I'm wiping the board a lot. That is true. With Sweltering Suns and Hour of Devastations. But it comes in versus the matchups, though, that you're ripping out. You want it to rip out. Yeah, I take out the board wipes. It only gets in for 1. Does it do a hell of a lot at that point? Just 1, 1, 1. I mean, it's... I guess it's okay. That's something that's still a 2 we can... Yeah, that actually does. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll try Kitesail Freebooter. Or is there still something that exiles a card out of hand? Exile a card for 2 mana. Kitesail Freebooter, Swordpoint Diplomacy. That actually seems kind of fun in this deck when you copy it. But it's every time I try to play this card in a deck like this, the only one I like Swordpoint Diplomacy in is like a hyper aggressive deck, because then the options are just bad for your opponent. Dead Man's Chest. What does this do? Aww. It's kind of fun, though. I want to get this card to work, but it just seems bad. When a shadow creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You can cast a non-land card from among them. And you have to put it on opponent's creatures. So it just seems really terrible. Let's see. I think Kite Sail is probably the right card here. It's just better than Lay Bear. Unfortunately, we don't have a hard card that just rips out something. I'm okay with 2 Kite Sails in the side. Again, we don't need them in the main. What were we doing? We were bringing in 1 card from the main. Dress, Kite Sail, Argos, Bloodfast, Angrath. Do we want double Angrath? Did seem good, but I'm worried about it. I think Gonti's probably... Is there any matchup where Gonti's dead against? I think it's fine. Gonti's is definitely a good. All right, let's play another one. See if this helps out at all. You want a Phoenix main board? Well, the thing is, no. Phoenix comes in versus they take out all the removal. Gonti, I think, is just better. Dream Stealer in the sideboard option. It's something that can come back. All right, let's win the die roll here. That's always good. This one is a throwaway. That's our first mulligan of the day. This one is not much better. I don't want to go to 5. And we'll keep that on top. When you tell the deck you don't want to go to 5, it gives you the perfect card to draw out of it. I've been very impressed with that card, though. Azor's Gateway is really, really powerful, and it has a way to... except we're going against a Braid again. Has a way to replace duplicates of itself. I'll throw this out versus a red deck. If they want to Braid it on their turn 2, I'm okay with it. So I'm thinking like Earthshaker Kenra is the card that comes down on this turn. We'll probably end up getting rid of a Torment of Hailfire. I think the 5 is perfect between Cut Ribbons and Torment of Hailfire. Don't you dare do it. You punks! Now our hand is terrible with but they're not doing anything on their turn 2 though, except our Fatal Push doesn't do anything versus... Always a Braids. That's the problem with this format at the moment. A Braid is just in too many decks, so that's a card we can Fatal Push though. So my opponent decided to go for Earthshaker Kenner. I swear, Milus, though, if you're sniping me, I swear, because that seems like a snipe play to me. I think you just run out the Earthshaker Kenner if you're mono red.
Yeah.
I don't see a... Yeah, because especially if they don't know we're mana screwed, too, it seems like a bad play. Oh, well. Well, our 25 lands are not going to be drawn this game. We do have the option of drawing into a black source, though. We have a lot of tap lands in this deck, too. I think the best case scenario is we just draw a basic swamp or a basic mountain. I'm okay, actually, with a tap land at this point. Is this the go bigger red strategy? MTGO. Love this stuff. We have to play a... When you play a 20-land deck, though, you will flood out like a mofo. It's... You should see the draws a lot of times. It's just going to strike me to the face. Yep. Well, the Amulet's just a 2-of in this deck. It's not that big of a deal. I could definitely go down to a 1-of. That could be a solution. And this looks like someone knows my hand. This plays are 2. Yeah, come on. Who's sniping me? Which one of you asshats are doing this? Because these are plays that they know what's going on. You guys are no fun. Beaumont Courier. And this is going to be a Hazoret right here, probably, because of course there'd be a Hazoret. I mean, that would make sense if it was a Hazoret play here, because then unloading the hand. But it gets a black deck. I guess with Azor's Gateway, though, I'm not sure. Maybe they just think that Shock's the best route. hide my hand from chat. Hey, we drew it. So I think we'll have a dog fight. Hey! Hey! Hey, you two! Whoa, we got a dog ring going on in here. You knock it off, Chloe.
Come here, Chloe. Oh, she found the bone.
Oh, they're fighting over a bone. Hey!
Come
Hey!
here, Chloe.
Hey!
You don't even
Hey!
like those
Dog
bones.
fight! Knock it off.
Come here.
You stay. Well, that was we run dog rings here at Gonero Games on the side. Woo! It legit scared you. It legit scared me. Where were we here? Oh yeah, I know what we're doing. We are going to their untap upkeep draw. And that way, when they draw, they get less value. They have to make a decision with the Beaumont Courier. So here's where I like to Essus Extraction. Funny thing is, Chloe doesn't even like that bone.
I know.
I gave a bone to Chloe and wouldn't touch it. So then when Ailey came in, I gave Ailey the bone. And yeah. So, okay, so my opponent did decide to go for the Beaumont Courier, which that's exactly why you do it right where you do it, rather than on attack phase. They get another option, I would assume, is, you know, yeah, it's I don't know, I like it right there on the draw step. So my opponent did not draw and got a Dire Fleet Daredevil and a Mountain. That's interesting. I don't think you make that because the Earthshaker Kenner comes back at that point. Unless they know I have a Doomfall in my hand, which I might be able to just cast a Doomfall, but it can't get a non-land, so... Yeah, this is kind of a... Do I just Scavenger Grounds right now and just get that Earthshaker Kenner out of the... No, because the land in... Huh, that's an interesting, interesting play. If we just Scavenger Ground. But then it keeps me away from... No, I think we actually do Scavenger Ground here. We just need to draw into another. Yeah, I think this is the right play. I really do. Because we're not hurting on lands, the Prime Element nor the Chandra is relevant. There we go. Earthshaker Kenner would come out this turn, and that would actually cost me a Doomfall. So a land for a Doomfall is... See, Michael Vick is visiting, huh? Woo! A Braid is going to be good. Now, of course, now I do want... I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. We could Doomfall. I actually don't think it's a... But I'd rather just use Doomfall for good old Hazoret. So we're not in any time clock here. Or we'll hear a time clock, but any... our life total isn't threatening at the moment. And so there's a Soulscar Mage. See if my opponent wants to protect the Soulscar Mage by casting... Okay, they couldn't cast an Braid on nothing, though. Alright, so... I'm thinking it's another Braid in hand. We'll play this other one, and now we're in great shape. So, do I want to go Doomfall? No, we've already established I don't want to. And we're going to have the Fire Bitch, TM. We could go Doomfall here for the win, but I think Chandra. Chandra's gonna get the job done. And a Fatal Push goes away, which is not a relevant card. Hazoret's still a pain because Hazoret swings into Chandra, kills Chandra. If that's the case. I wonder if this deck actually wants more Chandras, like a 3 of. It seems pretty powerful. Now Doomfall I could go for here. I think we just, of course, exile the top card of our library and cast whatever it gives us. A lot of cards just miss with Chandra. And it's a Dragon Skull Summit, so... This is just going to get braided. I'm pretty certain a braid is what's in my opponent's hand. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait till it's relevant. At least get the 5 damage out of it. So now Chandra can actually survive a Hazoret. Other than Hazoret plus a ditch? Possibly not. Those lightning strikes would be good about now. Punk. So there is the Earthshaker Kenra. It's annoying. Where do we want to braid it? Nah, I think we'll just use a Doomfall for it. It's not that big of a deal with Chandra. My opponent also has to decide where the damage wants to be. So Chandra, at least that, I mean, there's gain 2 life right there. And we can actually use Chandra to nah, we'll just Doomfall here. We'll just exile top card of a library, see if we find something that can take care of it. Like Vraska's Contempt would be fine here. Just another Field of Ruin, and then we'll make him exile. The Earthshaker Kenra. So neither one of those have got value. Chandra continues to tick up.
I think adding a third Chandra is good. You can add mana for the...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I think Chandra maybe using a 4 of is the right call. Plus, it's easy to loot it. Really? That's the way my opponent's going to go? Is they're going to... I guess I tapped out with the... Huh. Interesting play. That's fine. So I guess I shouldn't have tapped the Scavenger Ground. But that got a lightning strike out of the way. And Chandra can still... 14 life is what my opponent's at, though. So a +1 on Chandra with an empty hand could be lethal. Although my opponent is going to bring back the Earthshaker Kenra. Okay. That actually takes that play away. But that was a lot of resources. So I was wrong about the Abrade. It was another lightning strike in hand. Which is funny that the lightning strike didn't end up in my face. I'm going to find you, my list. I'm going to find you. Zach's just saying maybe it's someone knows how to play Magic. I don't know. These plays have been perfect. Like it's known information, in my opinion, is what's happening. So 1 card in hand, we can hit a Torment of Hailfire for 4, so that's not lethal. So we're going to have to go with a Doomfall. Ooh, that's lethal, though. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15 damage, so my opponent would have to get rid of the card and then actually go to... No, so it's not quite. Not sacrifice a creature. However, I think that with the better play here is just go Primal Amulet and Doomfall. And we should win this one. There's not a lot left. Oh, yeah. I only have to tap 2 mana so I can hold a Braid up. All right. You hear that, my list? I have a Braid and Torment of Hailfire in my hand. A Braid and Torment of Hailfire. On Crop Crasher. Well, too bad I have an Abrade in my hand. Is that a haste or 2? Which one's actually more threatening? Probably the Captain because it brings out... Yeah, we have lethal on board, I believe, without that treasure. All right, so I'm down to a 9. but I believe I have lethal. Because we have to drop 2 into it, 0 cards in hand, and my opponent can sacrifice 1 creature, and with that mountain, yeah, it's lethal. So 7. Am I not tapping this right? 1. So 1, 2, okay, so there's the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's correct. It's automatically done, right? That's fine. Torment of Hailfire. Last card in hand. Yeah, no, I expected this deck to do well, and the more we refine it, the problem is Grixis Energy is going to be a problem. It's going to be a matchup that, yeah, I'm going to have to tune it really, really well. But that's any deck you're going to be kind of bad at until you tune the deck. So I think all of Angrath is actually pretty powerful in this one, I would say, because it at least absorbs damage. I don't think we need some... The Scorpion guy can block a lot of stuff, but I don't think they take out hasters and stuff like that, so I think this card's just kind of meh. Golden Demise is good with the information we have. Soulscar Mages, Captain Lunary Storm, On-Crop Cash. What's that? It's in here, though.
Or you just want in case you're stuck on black?
No. Why did we bring in Golden Demise again? I forget. I don't know why I brought it in. Like, someone's like, we got to bring in Golden Demise. And I'm like, okay. What is it? Oh, kills negative. It kills, Adanto. That was it. That was the reasoning. Because people... Apparently, it is a big part of the meta, I believe. I believe there's a white Aura deck that's running it right now. Isn't the white-blue Jim Davis? I just say Jim Davis out of my mouth. I thought I'd never talk about that guy again. Guy's dead to me. But so they ran a blue-white Auras, and I believe there's also the vampires that still run it. So out of the station, I don't know if this is just too slow. It can clear other Kenras. Like, because this is still good. I think our Devastation is just too slow, in all honesty. Gaunty's still fine. It leaves back a Death Toucher that has to be dealt with. So we can run like a... I think Torment of Hailfire can get cut here because we just need the 1. Primal Amulet also can get cut, and we can bring in a little more... Duresses actually aren't bad in this one. Because it rips out a... Yeah, Lightning Strike. Ross, Jim rubbed me the wrong way. Big time rubbed me the wrong way. Jim Davis was a guy that... I don't know if dresses actually are the right move here. Jim Davis was pulled through the ringer when he wrote the rebuttal article to Women in Magic. So if anyone should know what it's like to be kind of ostracized by the community and have a witch mob sent against them that wasn't justified, it should be Jim Davis. But no! He thinks that his way of atoning for the hate mob against him, he thinks his hate mob against him was deserving, and his way is to lead the hate mob the next time around. So he was one of the big hate mongers with the latest drama with the Travis Wu Unsleeved Media fiasco. So he's lost all respect. Like if someone he should know on a personal level what that's like to be misrepresented. But yeah, that's my beef with Jim Davis. So the guy's dead to me, especially when remember the thing that got the ball rolling with my exile from the good old boys club was Jim Davis, was sticking my neck out for Jim Davis. That was the More Hostility in the Magic the Gathering video, was directly a response to the hate that Jim Davis was receiving. So yeah, that was just I lost every bit of ounce of respect for Jim Davis. And yeah, do we need to say Jim Davis again? Jim Davis?
Well, one more time.
One more time? Will he appear? Did my mic cut out? Is that what you said? I don't know. We're this mic. I think it might be the mic that needs to be replaced. Do I run an Azor's Gateway just to get abraded? I'm going to give it one turn. I'm sick of this nonsense. I want some value out of the damn thing. Aw, I can't Fatal Push that. That was actually a good play. See, now we're like, I should have get Azor Gatewayed, because now we're kind of out of... I still think I just want to cut rather than Unlicensed Disintegration. That card's actually pretty good. Yeah, we'll cut it. It gets cut. And we can hold up a... So this is probably the Glorybringer version, right? Isn't that what Captain... Because he can ramp it out. Ooh. Can't do much against Chandra. Well, turn 4. They missed the land drop. So Chandra is going to be a pain. I need to find an answer for Chandra. That's why Duress was a good one. Aha! Hey, hey, hey! Suck it. Empty Joe gods are definitely smiling upon me today. Does find the 4th land here for another Harsh Mentor. Why bring in Harsh Mentor? I don't like it. It's gonna get cut. And you know what? You got an Abrade, you got an Abrade. No Abrade. Or F6, one of the two. To punish my Azor's Gateway activations, the problem is, though, with that play, Minecraft, is I kind of have a bazillion removal and brought in a bazillion more removal. So, let's loot here. I do want this Dragon Skull Summit, so let's hope we hit something like a... Ooh. No, I don't need the Dragon Skull Summit. I think 4 lands is pretty good with this. I mean, we are getting close with the Cut Ribbons activations if I were just go land go. But Cut Ribbons is something you definitely need to hit the Azor's Gateway or the Primal Amulet. So I think we do want at least one Primal Amulet. The Crop Crasher. Yeah. Say no to Crop Crashers and take some damage. Look at that, then License Disintegration. Oh wow, I am lagging like a mofo here. Stream still cut out? Nope. I think I just... Nope, stream did cut out. Whoa, I completely froze. There we go. Stream's back. My computer is wigging out. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, my computer just completely decided to stall out on us. Alright, so I loot again. And I don't want to get rid of a Braid here. I don't really want to get anything. I don't know if Azor's Gateway's that big of a deal. Let's get rid of a Braid. So I should have cycled the desert. I'm going to... yeah, we'll play a land drop. No, we don't want to cycle yet. Jeez, that's bad. Alright, we'll cycle end of turn here. What is my opponent holding up? Lightning Strikes? It's got to be Lightning Strikes. Hey, we find the other Braid, so that's actually really good. So we have 1, 2... Duress? Do we just want a 0 at this point? Or do I want to Duress him? I think we want the Duress. Now I could rip out a... Ooh, we'll do Vraska's Contempt for 4. Ugh, I don't know, actually. Yeah, we have a second one. I do want to Duress my opponent just to get in a Braid, but it doesn't really matter. Uh-oh. Something is lagging bad here. I'm going to close some windows. What do we have that can go... That can go bye-bye. And yeah, I am getting some messy. We'll close the music here too to see something is messing up big time with my computer. Sometimes when you run MTGO for a certain amount of time too, it has a lot of memory use. It used to back in the day. You'd have to restart MTGO a lot. And I wonder if the latest patch brought back those woes. Lightning Strike. So we were right about the Lightning Strike. I don't know if that's the right move. Dogs are chewing on the internet cable. You chewing on the internet cable over there, Chloe? No, Chloe's she's still in doggy prison. She's over here sulking. It's been a rough day for you, huh, Chloe? Huh. You lost your partner in crime, who was benched. Hey, look at that. It's a perfect Vraska's Contempt. You don't think I would get rid of a duplicate, right? And there is Ongroth, which actually allows me to loot that away. I'm not sure how powerful Ongroth is here. And then we'd have the Duress. It seems kind of greedy, but I'm going to do it. We're going to set up the... I'm going to cycle this right now. No, cycle in a turn still. We're going to set up the Azor's Gateway to flip. And then we have a huge Cut Ribbons, which I believe is lethal. Beaumont Courier. Do I care? I think I care about a Beaumont Courier. Which one do we want to do? Destroy an artifact or do 3 damage to it? Yeah, it might give it indestructible.
I guess either way.
Yeah, I guess either. Yeah, might give it whenever a damage is dealt to it this turn, redirect it to opponent. There's nothing like that. So, watch, my opponent's holding up that Abrade, and I'm gonna cry because I just cycled a Angrath. Well, the point with Ross with Jim Davis, there was nothing wrong with what he wrote, but it was challenging the narrative. And once you challenge the narrative, oh boy. So we can actually get rid of this Cut Ribbons. So we have a 4. We have a 4, right? Yep, so. Don't you do it! My list, if you kill my dream here, I'm coming for you. Hey, hey. Okay, so we have a 3-drop.
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter. I think Duress is the weaker link at this point. Because we don't have a 1-drop, so it's going to flip.
That broke it.
Uh-oh. That broke the stream. Well, I'm apologizing. This is probably going to be our last game. I think my computer needs restarted or something. Plus, I do need to get some work done. I still owe Coach. Coach will be on tomorrow for stream, hopefully, by the way. I have a video coming out. Card Bazaar is his channel, YouTube channel. Yeah, quite popular YouTuber, by the way. All right, let's do this. 21 mana on my mana pool. And we're living the dream. That's what we wanted to see on stream, right? And I can't even do it because it's freezing up. Do not click that. There we go. There's the concession. Yeah, something with my computer, something with MTGO needs restarted. It is really lagging the computer. Hopefully this isn't like a new... This was exactly what used to happen with MTGO back in the day. It's been a couple of years, but they could have broken it again. That wouldn't be above the scope. But anywho, didn't get a lot of brewing in this time. I appreciate the donation by Adam. For future reference, if you donate, I don't know what Super Chat is, but if you use the link in the description with the Streamlabs, you can take over my channel for 15. 15 is about the right number to get my attention to brew a specific deck. Decks aren't cheap. This particular one cost us 60 tickets or 64 tickets. So any bit of help on that like MTGO is just such a mess to try to keep up with. So your donations are greatly appreciated. They go to directly funding this nonsense. We need the spell core to pay off before. I think I'm getting way low on tickets. Need my spell core spec to pay off. Show everyone that real quick before I I'm all in on this bad boy. Standard, not in standard, thank God. I hated that card. Reset filters. So I thought I'd try, when I rage quit MTGO, I thought I'd try one last speculation, and then I decided I wasn't going to rage quit MTGO. And is the stream still skipping too? Jesus, so... anyway, Spellcore, I bought 151 copies between $5, between $4.80 to $5.80. I think there's a dollar range, and it bounced all the way up to 8, so we were in good shape, and then it crashed again, and I think it's sitting around 5 tickets at the moment. And so this is a spec I need. I need this thing to win the Pro Tour, which I do think that this is the deck that's the best positioned, is Spellqueller. The thing about Spellqueller that people don't understand, this card goes in 4 different decks. It goes in a white-blue tempo deck, which is also, then they can go Jeskai with it. It also goes in a collected company deck. It goes in spirits, and then it goes in the deck that it's seeing the most play in, which is the Jeskai Geist deck, a tempo-based deck. And that is the deck that I think is the best positioned right now to win the Pro Tour. It has all the pieces to it. The Cryptic Command seems extremely good in the format right now, especially when you follow it up with a Spellqueller or a Geist, for example. And if I were to... It's decent versus, like, Eldrazi Tron can be a bitch, but they can still race it with Snapcaster Bolt type cards. And Spellqueller actually does a lot of work in that matchup too, because they can get like Expedition maps and things like that. So it's... in Spirits, it's pretty good. Like the decent tempo shell with Spirits, it's getting better and better. Like Spirits are every set, because we're going to have the human. Mark my words, we're going to have the human effect pretty soon. What I mean by that is human, 5-color human is seeing a lot of play because of Kitesail Freebooter, and then there was also the what's the card that got banned? Jesus, the 2/3 bounce a card, can't play it in Reflector Mage. And then you have other cards that make humans have answers to everything. It's just a matter of time before I think Spirits has answers to everything. So there's going to be a 5-color Spirit deck that can just run the mana base that humans run. And the Collected Company Court of Calling decks are still really good. They use Spellquellers and, of course, the Jeskai Geist. So that's where I'm at with that. Of course, this spec hopefully pays off. This will fund the channel for a long time. Again, never feel pressured to donate. If it's something you enjoy, if you get value out of this stream, if you want to give me incentive to keep on going, you know, the more donations, the more I'll do this. We'll be honest, I'm a sloot just like the rest of... Does that get around monetization if I say it differently? Just like everyone else, you know, that is a good motivator. And yeah, so where's I going with this? I like to give something for... I feel guilty even taking Patreon money. That's why I try to give people incentive to use the Patreon tiers, to get something back. So that's a good way to support the channel. You get access to incredibly cheap product at the 20 or higher tiers, and then you get your money's worth even if you do one purchase. So, anywho, give me that Patreon money. Yeah, there we go. Don't feel guilty. I'll give you the Patreon. Give me that arena code, and then we'll see what we can have some fun with that. Because again, I got an initial email right off the bat, and then nothing. No response back from Wizards since then. And almost everyone I've talked to has got their arena code by then. But Eddie, Zach hasn't got his arena. Talmadge did, right?
No, he said that
he at least got his secondary. Yeah. I haven't even got a secondary message from them. So, so if yeah, I again too, don't ever donate to me or another streamer if your money is tight. Absolutely not. Spend on number one. I've talked about this before. I need to find the theory. I know someone's explained the actual. I can't stand charities. Like, it's a huge pet peeve of mine, especially when people do a St. Jude charity stream. That drives me insane, because if you know, that's a company that I know quite well how it operates. They have a CEO that makes $150 million a year or upwards up to that. And the only reason they're a nonprofit is they've claimed themselves as a nonprofit. They're doing a free market service. What they're doing is they're taking care of sick people. That's called a hospital. So every other hospital has their own pro bono wings, but St. Jude has been able to make a killing. If you go look up their operation, they live in a castle. That entire place is just billion-dollar facility. Like, it's extremely, and they're preying off of everyone's just, you know, for the kids. So I've always hated charities. A better way to give back is to help yourself first, then help your family, then help your neighborhood, then help your community. You just expand your sphere of influence. So when I see like a lot of, we did a swim meet last year that just donated a ton of money to the cancer center. I'm like, great, well, all the money just left Richfield and went to Salt Lake, because that's where the Cancer Institute is. Because that's exactly where that money gets kind of injected into. So again, I hope I don't sound like a shill when it's like donate, but that's just the name of the game. If you want more streams, if you want me to be able to build decks, if you want me to start, I don't know if I'm going to be doing Rekindling Phoenixes very often, because to me it's a card that I wouldn't purchase. But if people want to see it on stream, there's definitely a way to chip in to make sure that that's viable. So anyway, well, that's with me, Minecraft. Again, how come every one of these streams ends up with a rant? But if you look at FEMA, if you look at a lot of these services, even charity, like I'm not a big fan of the Red Cross either, because the Red Cross literally is vampires. They take your blood and sell it for money, for profit. So you think you're donating blood, but what you're actually doing is you're just being, and that would be a service that then would be, the free market would take care of. If they actually paid for blood, like if the Red Cross actually paid, or another service paid you for blood with the money that they're actually receiving, or at least gave you a cut, it would be just as easy to fill that need. Hospitals would still have their blood. So it's, yeah, one of these days I'll start a second channel and rant away about stuff. So it drives me bonkers when other streamers get on with their big St. Jude. They get paid for that? You think they get a cut?
They get incentives to do it.
Well, of course they get incentives. They get a lot of people sharing their videos like crazy, and it's this big hoorah. And I know a lot of people have done it out of the goodness of their heart. There are definitely people that exploit it, but you know, we had like these smaller channels do a charity stream recently and whatnot. And it's again, I don't want to blame the people that host it. It's these companies that know full well. And let's call it companies. Let's be honest here. Non-profit doesn't mean a damn thing. Our hospital in our area is a non-profit. It's a lot of these church institutions are non-profit. It doesn't mean that they don't try to make all non-profit means is they don't have shareholders. That's it. They still have to cover operations cost, and then they can just say, okay, we're not making profit, but we're building a palace. Don't take my word for it. Go Google St. Jude and see the palace that St. Jude is. So exactly, Ross. Exactly. Ross says, I'm reading Jim's article, and honestly, it's not that big of a deal. Amen to that. Do you know that the Magic the Amateuring boycotted Star City Games, and then they, even on stream, laughed about how they've never spent a cent at Star City Games anyway, but they boycotted Star City Games until they took Jim Davis's article down. That, again, I didn't agree with everything Jim Davis wrote in the article. A lot of it was just kind of just pretty meh. And it was the outrage that Jim Davis dared to write a rebuttal article to the machine that got him in trouble, got him ostracized. He didn't even write for like 3 months after that. They hadn't issued a huge apology. That was the issue I had with it. And then for have him turn around and lead a crusade against another person was just, that lost all respect for him, especially when people like me that were loosely involved in that. Remember, they used evidence against Unsleeved Media about Deplorable Kevin also going to a GP. So, you know, I was lumped in with all that. I lost a sponsorship over the entire drama that occurred because I wouldn't condemn Jeremy. I wouldn't. That's exactly what Gathering Magic wanted me to do. They wanted me to condemn. I think I would have been just fine if I would have bowed down, apologized, and condemned. But I wasn't willing to do that against another peer, but not only a peer, but a friend. So, I don't know. That's where I was at. How come you guys always rope me into these rants? That's it. That's it. See, we go from 60 viewers to 41. But anyway,
did you only do one deck this time?
We only did one deck because this deck took forever. We took like an hour mulling over what we wanted to include in this deck, which I do think is a good deck. We went 2-1 with it and lost against the tier 1 deck, the number 1 deck at the moment. So yeah. I'm thinking that this would have worked out. Yeah, I wanted to get into some path to Discovery, again, I just don't think my internet connection or my computer is going to hold up. It's wigging out over here. I don't know how it's affecting the stream either. So, well, Ross, you can even make that the conclusion that Jeremy was being awful to Christine, but is awful to a person. Does that deserving of a a complete crusade? And that's where I would say no. Like, that's exactly where I was at with this entire thing. And not only that, was a targeted, it was a coordinated crusade. So again, you can criticize. In fact, the video I think everyone should go watch is Vito. I'll murder his name. Guasaldi. I'm going to have him on my channel one of these times. He's agreed to be on it, but it's hard for me to actually schedule. He was the one that made the Pepsi video go viral. So he went to the Antifa rallies to try to hand out Pepsis. Had a couple million views on it. But anyway, he's a big Magic player. Well, X according to him, he quit. But he did like kind of like a Jeremy rebuttal and just criticized Jeremy throughout his entire video. I'm like, that's the right way to do it. That's the right way, is just to. It's pretty easy to take apart someone's, if you want to consider it vitriol or just childishness, if you ascribe that to what Jeremy was doing to Christine, and rip him apart on a video. Not demand to go after a company, or then try to go after his job, or then try to go after his wife, or then try to go after all of his peers, or people that have any sort of loose associations with him. Again, we are friendly. I consider myself friends with Jeremy because we worked out our beefs, we communicate, we cooperate, and he was really fun to hang out with at Vegas. He's a different person when you're hanging out with him, and then he is trying to be a rebel rouser, trying to stir the pot. So yeah.
Don't have to agree on everything to be friends.
Yeah, I know. That's what I tried to explain to a lot of people. If I was going to comb over all of my relationships, try to find or pick through everyone what they believed in, I don't think I'd be friends with anyone. I have not met a person this day that I vehemently don't disagree with someone. One of my friends is a huge volunteer for Red Cross, and I remember getting in a huge fight with my best friend at what's that barbecue restaurant, the really trendy one. Not Dickie's, kind of like Dickie's. What's the Famous Dave's? We almost got in a screaming match at Famous Dave's because we were arguing about premarital sex or whether or not he should be excommunicated from the church. And this is my best friend who he was trying to argue for the church, and I was trying to be like, why are you still in it? You're obviously not adhering to it. And right at dinner, we're at each other's throat, and then we got up, and we were with his wife, actually, at the time. That's how awkward I can be with people. And then we got up, went home, played some board games, watched a movie, and called it a day. Like, that's the whole thing. So I usually get pretty heated with all discussions with all of my friends with certain things. That's what makes friends friends. They keep me in check. Otherwise, I'm sure I would have some very awkward ideals and beliefs and mindset. So, yep. A lot of times I can be a bully and overpowering with my ideals, but trust me, they get challenged, and then I think about them and reflect. So, yep. Anywho, yeah, I just don't dare move MTGO, otherwise I think I'm gonna crash the stream. But Green Explorer still does look like. Oh yeah, I tried to click there. MTGO is definitely dead. Yeah, it took and then it crashes the stream. So either I have to. Yeah, it's late too. I don't want to restart it.
Yeah.
We'll ramble for a second here, and then I'll call it a night.
A couple other ideas for Brews too. So
yeah.
Next time when you have.
Yeah, we'll get Tyler in. What are you doing Friday? Dubious challenge. Huh?
Around that, yeah.
Someone has built a dubious challenge deck with. It usually it revolves around the Reflector Mage.
Yeah.
And so it's damned if you do, damned if you don't type stuff. But I mean, that's the thing, is you end up getting a card. It ends up being a tutor
with Gideon, and then with this new Release to the Wind.
Oh, Release the Wind and Gideon, huh?
Yeah.
That's not a bad little. That is not a bad little. So what do you get? Because of course you're gonna ult Gideon.
Yeah.
And then.
Those are 3 creatures that would the target.
Oh, so this is standard worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to brew. Tyler is definitely. See, I went away from my more off the beaten path. Unfortunately, I've been kind of obsessed with more tier 1 or tier 1 or die. That's been my outlook lately, but definitely Tyler's got an interesting brew here. We'll have to, if Empty Joe wasn't going to crash if I do anything here, then we could make a look at it. But Friday, be looking forward. If Tyler, you work Friday?
I don't think I work Friday night.
So Friday night, yeah, come in after work on Friday night. We'll mess around with it. I think we're playing Popper for F&M. Woo.
We're playing standard and standard. Popper's next.
Oh, we're playing standard.
I just built a standard deck, so.
Okay. Well, we're playing standard. So after our F&M, we'll probably kind of late. We'll get Tyler on and brew some stuff. So any Q&As? We like to end with Q&As. Kevin, I think you should look into red green mid range with the Dinosaur package and Golden Guardian. Golden Guardian's a card I do want to definitely brew around. It just seems like Tyler played it against me in the pre-release, and oh wow, that thing just got out of hand.
It's a lot better than expected.
Yeah. How do I feel about mana traders? Okay, I explained this to someone else with mana traders. If you are really worried about the kind of the stock market feel of Magic of going up, remember, cards can go up just as much as they can go down. It's a volatile market. So mana traders allows you to rent decks. However, their fee didn't we figure it was like 30% of the deck? Was how much the rental fee was. Trust me, by buying and selling cards on Empty Joe, you're not going to lose 30%. The margins are so super thin that the vast majority of the time, otherwise, why wouldn't they just stick to buying and selling? They know it's profitable. They are kind of hedging the risk. They have your credit card information in case you decide to skip town, so they can keep charging it as long as you don't cancel your credit card. And then at that point, if you cancel your credit card, they can come at you with collections, I'm sure. So it's that they're making profit rather than just doing the buying selling strategy, because they do run a bot service just like anything else. So mana traders is fine if you want to rent the cards, but it's cheaper to buy sell. Like right now, if I just wanted them for a video, that those Phoenixes, I can just go ditch the Phoenixes for way less than it would have cost me to rent them for a stream. So I'm not a big fan of like mana traders if you know what you're doing. Ross Scred, who do I dislike the most in Magic? That'd be hashtag blame Zach, because he's the worst. Just kidding, Zach. We like Zach. You know what? Who do I dislike the worst? There's a lot of Jimmy Wong. I don't know. Probably Jimmy Wong, because the guy just drives me insane with his knee-jerk Twitter reactions over everything. The guy is just a troll. Like, he's not a troll, but he gets trolled so bad, and you feel sorry for him at times. But he's just such a dunce at other times that I don't want to feel bad for him, because he's got that huge platform. And I want to like the guy. See, that's usually who I dislike more, is people that I want to like, but unfortunately just can't like. And Freddie Wong is what got me into YouTube. So I have a little bit of a disdain for Jimmy Wong. So did it cut out again? Yeah, I'm getting a new mic. That'll be my next purchase again, or just get rid of this icicle and get another thing. So yep, that was. Also, like the tweet that got me really upset with Jimmy was just when he tweeted out that basically to the effect that women are incapable of violence, and that is the stupidest concept known to man. Like, that was the whole thing with two of my favorite books, The Great Train Robbery and Angel of Darkness by Caleb Carr. Those are two novels that talk about a time period when in the 1800s, the turn of the century, 1900s, where society did not believe that women were capable of violence. And so, they didn't get sent to prison. They didn't. The whole premise of the Great Train Robbery is they used a woman to basically just trick a lot of the people. Like, they got a set of the keys made, and basically was the distraction, because the law enforcement was incapable of believing that a woman could be deviant. And so, anywho, the whole premise of Angel thing. Caleb Carr wrote a series of books, or two books, I believe, are in this series. The first one is about a serial killer that they don't know who it is, so they have to do detective work to figure out who the serial killer is. Book number 2 was interesting because they know chapter 1 who it is. It's getting the law to believe them. So they have to prove to the law that this woman is killing kids. And so it's always been of course this subject is near and dear to my heart, because it was kind of what I went through. No one believed me when I kind of was trying to explain how crazy my ex could get, because she was just this docile little girl. There's no way she could get that. There's no way she'd hit you with her car. She's a lovely little, I've never had any approach. I've never seen her angry before. And then behind closed doors, she turned into a complete monster, and they slammed my hand in the door, threw pictures at me, threw dinner at me, broke my computer, broke everything in house, like just a complete rage machine. So again, it was me trying to convince everyone around me. So it's just, when you have Jimmy just do a tweet that's like, oh, don't talk to me about the teeny tiny minority of women that might commit violence. No, it's 50-50. It's pretty much, we've pretty much concluded that it's a human, violence is a human behavior, not a gender behavior. So anywho, how you guys get me started on this stuff? All right. Did you just did you just knuckles me there, Jay? The Uganda knuckles? Uganda knuckles in my stream. Oh. But yeah, it's kind of what first wave feminism was about. First and second wave, the whole women are capable, women don't need to be coddled. That was all about like proving that there wasn't, women weren't children, which is funny because third wave feminism is all about trying to bring women back to being children, or not the responsibility of the fainting heart feminism, what they like to call it. Like they want to be treated equal, but don't want to be treated equal. So, of course, that's another can of worms for me to disembowel, dissect. That's the word I wanted to use. That's the right term. So I don't know. Again, can of worms for another day. We'll get into it someday. Yeah, well, Ross, that's the problem with third wave. It's just becoming so divisive, so extreme. Like, especially when they take potential allies like myself, because I've never really identified as a very masculine person, and a lot of the typical masculine things are off-putting to me. I've always hated the word, the whole terminology to be compared to try to take away someone's masculinity to compare them as a girl. I've never liked that. So, I was a potential ally for the movement, but they lost me very quickly with either obey to the entire the whole, go completely into the religion, don't use any skepticism or don't require any evidence, or else. That was kind of how feminism kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So Soy Boy is ridiculous, Soldier. Well, first of all, Soy Boy is something that I can't stand because it's proven false. Like, here, this is an ex-bodybuilder. I'm actually, my arms kill right now because I made the horrible decision to go back to the gym on Monday, and that was awful. And I lasted about 20 minutes, and I still hurt, so I can barely move. But anyway, so I researched this to death, because usually when I get into stuff, I obsessively get into stuff. And so when I got into bodybuilding, I researched it like crazy, and there's no evidence that soy causes estrogen. There's no evidence that human body converts soy into estrogen or increases estrogen. So it has it in it. So what? There's tons of stuff that have things in that doesn't get digested. That's spinach. You're not going to get any of the calcium from spinach. It's not going to do a damn thing. There's some evidence that spinach leaches calcium because of the something to do with the phosphorus and it binds with but anyway, but soy, the same thing with the soy, it doesn't lead to estrogen, it doesn't lead to muscle degeneration like a lot of people. The whole term Soy Boy was to make fun of people that obviously were eating too much soy because they were turning into girls. Again, it was a way to attack masculinity, and it's just a dumb term. Yeah, Jay, though, I've read research where one of the most, I'll have to find you all if people want the evidence. I'm too bored to go into it, but there was a person that went completely on soy protein supplements and had no problems. Didn't grow breasts. Didn't have any problems with it. So yeah, it's you want to know a way to increase your estrogen like crazy? Take steroids. So supplement with testosterone. Your body will try to correct by, trying to produce as much estrogen as possible. So there you go. So they should call it Roid Boy. Becomes more feminine. Go read. Oh, there's a lovely book for everyone to read. Here's recommendation time. Upstream just died. So Upstream is back. Upstream is Video output low. Anyway, go read Roids Rage Redemption by Nitro. It's all about steroids. It's a messed up book. So, anyway, we're having problems with the stream. I think we've gone on long enough. One of these times we'll have a book club. I enjoy this part of it. I think a lot of people enjoy me being the ranter rather than just the deck builder, but we'll try to balance it. The end of streams will always be rants. Be looking forward to rants if you stick around for that. I'm sure you guys can bait me into these rants. You do it every damn time. Every time I do a Q&A, I can say, market Q&A. What do you think about this social issue? God damn it, people. Because I can't keep my mouth shut. So anyway, I appreciate everyone here. I hope I got to everyone's questions. If not, we might stream tomorrow. Again, I'll have Coach on, and I don't know what we'll be doing with after Coach is on. Coach from Card Bazaar. I need to finish his video before I have him on because that'll be embarrassing. I have a collaboration with him that he wanted to do back in the 1st of December, which I'm now getting around to doing. Shut up, Zach. Don't judge me. Christmas, then I got sick, and then this nonsense. But anyway, we'll have him on, and then... Oh, geez. Have T-Woo on as a special guest? Would love to. Would love to have T-Woo. Love that guy. Anyway. We'll see you around tomorrow. Live stream with Coach. Then we might follow it up with some brews. And thanks for all for joining. And I appreciate Adam for the top donation of a whole $5. Thanks, Adam. You paid for my cigarettes that I don't smoke. We paid for Zach's cigarettes. Doesn't even come close to paying for cigarettes, apparently. All right. Take care, everyone. And see if I can... Oh, can't even see the stream because it's lagging so bad.